Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet.
Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Crime on this Wednesday with episodes of Let George Do It, starring Bob Bailey and Virginia Gregg. Dick Kollmar, starring as Boston Blackie. We'll also have an episode of Calling All Cars from 90 years ago. And I Was a Communist for the FBI, starring Dana Andrews from 1952 in the American Kremlin. And we'll wrap it all up with something even more criminal, another episode of Lum and Abner. That's all coming up on this Wednesday, and you know what that means. This is the 11th day of June, 162nd day of the year. We have 203 days remaining. Congressional Congress appointed Thomas Jefferson, Thomas Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert R. Livingston to a committee to draft a Declaration of Independence on this date in 1776. U.S. warships start to sail for Cuba on this date in 1898 in the Spanish-American War. It was on this date in 1927 Charles Lindbergh received the first Distinguished Flying Cross ever awarded.
On behalf of his own people, who have a deep affection for him and have been thrilled by his splendid achievements, and as President of the United States, I bestow the Distinguished Flying Cross as a symbol of appreciation for what he is and what he has done upon Colonel Charles A. Lindbergh. Intelligent, industrious, energetic, dependable, purposeful, alert, quick of reaction, serious, deliberate, stable, efficient, frank, modest, congenial, a man of good moral habits and regular in his business transactions. When I landed at Le Bourget a few weeks ago, I landed with the expectancy and the hope of being able to see Europe. It was the first time I had ever been abroad. And I wasn't in any hurry to get back. And I was informed that while it wasn't an order to come back home, that there'd be a battleship waiting for me next week.
President Coolidge, Silent Cal, and Charles Lindbergh. Since 1927, aviators honored with this medal have included World War II pilots President George Bush, Senator George McGovern, and astronaut Virgil Grissom, Gus Grissom, who flew over 100 missions during the Korean War. 1962, Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin became the only prisoners to ever successfully escape from Alcatraz. 1963, Alabama Governor George Wallace stood at the door of Foster Auditorium at the University of Alabama in an attempt to block two black students from attending that college.
I stand here today as governor of this sovereign state and refuse to willingly submit to illegal usurpation of power by the central government.
That same day, President Kennedy announced a civil rights bill.
We are confronted primarily with a moral issue. It is as old as the Scriptures and is as clear as the American Constitution. The heart of the question is whether all Americans are to be afforded equal rights and equal opportunities, whether we are going to treat our fellow Americans as we want to be treated. If an American, because his skin is dark, cannot eat lunch in a restaurant open to the public, if he cannot send his children to the best public school available, if he cannot vote for the public officials who represent him, if, in short, he cannot enjoy the full and free life which all of us want, then who among us would be content to have the color of his skin changed and stand in his place? Who among us would then be content with the counsels of patience and delay?
It would not be until President Kennedy had been assassinated that civil rights bill would be passed by Congress. And let me say this. The concept of separate but equal sounded great, but it was never that. In concept, it was wonderful. In execution, it never worked, because you had a number of black schools that were dramatically underperforming, and you had a number of white schools that were exceeding. And so they were not equal accommodations, no matter what anybody tells you. Okay, in 1970, Anna Mae Hayes, Elizabeth P. Hoisington officially received their ranks as U.S. Army generals. That was on this date in 1970. 1977, Seattle Slew did it, won the Triple Crown of thoroughbred racing. And don't ask me to name all three of them. I only remember the Kentucky Derby. I know there are two others, and I remember some of them sometimes. But it was on this date in 1986. The movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off premiered in theaters across the nation. It starred Matthew Broderick in the titular role of Ferris Bueller and was directed by John Hughes.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Oh, that music's going to get me a copyright strike. A yearbook quote classic from Matthew Broderick, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Delightful movie released on this date in 1986. Compaq Computers paid $9 billion on this date in 1998 for Digital Equipment Corporation, in the largest high-tech acquisition at the time. In 2001, Timothy McVeigh executed for his role in the Oklahoma City bombing. CBS News correspondent Byron Pitts was a witness.
Timothy James McVeigh died with his eyes open. When the curtain passed the media center, Mr. McVeigh seemed to look up and intentionally make eye contact with each of us.
My contention to this day, having covered it from a number of perspectives back in the day that the Oklahoma City bombing took place, McVeigh was a willing stooge. He did not plot it. I don't believe that he made any of the plans. I think he was just complicit. And he ended up being the one who got to stand up for what was right, even though he wasn't. In 2004, Ronald Reagan's funeral held at Washington National Cathedral on this date in 2004, and his Vice President George Herbert Walker Bush emotional.
As his Vice President for 8 years, I learned more from Ronald Reagan than from anyone I encountered in all my years of public life.
George Herbert Walker Bush on this date, 21 years ago today. In 2018, President Trump and leader of the North Korean people, Kim Jong-un, held the first meeting between the leaders of their two countries in Singapore. And it was in 2018 that the Three World Trade Center officially opened. And it was good to see that it actually got done. Okay, passing away on this date in history. Oh, my goodness. The founder of the Boy Scouts of America, Daniel Carter Beard. I have to wonder what he would think today. The man who sang about ebb tide, Earl Grant, passing away on this date. Marion Morrison, passing away on this date. You know him as Duke, John Wayne. DeForest Kelley, Bones on the original Star Trek. Also, David Brinkley from the Huntley Brinkley Report. Anne Rutherford, wonderful actress Ruby Dee, singer, songwriter Jim Ed Brown, and there was never any better, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
much like John Wayne would say, he never played the role of a character. He just played John Wayne over and over and over. And Dusty Rhodes never played the role of a character. He just played Dusty Rhodes. And that's what made him real. And any wrestler that can be real and they're part of their true self has a greater opportunity to be successful. And Dusty was a part of pop culture, and he's an icon. And was he the greatest wrestler in the ring? No. But was he as good an entertainer and performer? Absolutely. And there was nobody that could get on the mic and make you remember what he said better than the drink.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work and got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, Daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time. And Ric Flair, you put hard times on this country by taking Dusty Rhodes out. That's hard time. And we all had hard times together. I admit I don't look like the athlete of the day supposed to look. My belly's just a little big. My hand is just a little big. But brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad. And there were 2 bad people. One was John Wayne and he's dead, brother. And the other one's right here. Nature Boy Ric Flair. The world's heavyweight title belongs to these people. I'm gonna reach out right now. I want you at home to know my hand is touching your hand for this gathering of the biggest body of people in this country, in this universe, all over the world now, reaching out because the love that was given me, and this time I will repay you now because I will be the next world's heavyweight champion on this hard time blues. Dusty Rhodes Tour 85 and Ric Flair, Nature Boy. Let me leave you with this. One way to hurt Ric Flair is to take what he cherishes more than anything in the world. That's the world's heavyweight title. I'm gonna take it. I've been there twice. This time when I take it, Daddy, I'm gonna take it for you. Let's gather for it. Don't let me down now, because I came back for you, for that man up there that died 10, 12 years ago and never got the opportunity to see a real Wolf champion. And I'm proud of you and thank God I have you. And I love you. Love you!
Dusty Rhodes was a big man, a round man, a lot like me. But Dusty worked hard, and he could talk the people into the building. And isn't it ironic? John Wayne died on this date in 1979. Dusty Rhodes passed away on this date in 2015. He never got to see what his other son did. He got to see the success that Dustin Rhodes had as Goldust. But he never got to see Cody Rhodes become the star he became. He never got to see his son start that promotion along with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and the money behind the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Khan family, and they built a competitive wrestling promotion that's out there every week doing shows and doing pay-per-views and eventually making a little money. Dusty Rhodes. And if you close your eyes sometime and you listen, those of you who are wrestling fans, you close your eyes and you listen to Dustin and you realize there's a little bit of Dusty in there. Dusty Rhodes passing away on this date 10 years ago today. Birthdays on this date include Vince Lombardi, great football coach, actor Gerald Moore, also the original Sheik, Ed Farhat, the guy who threw the fire, made riots in arenas all over America. He did. They would riot because he knew how to get under a crowd's skin. He did it bad. Oh, Gene Wilder, born on this date as well. Judge Strunk. Wonderful song, Daisy a Day. Actor Chad Everett, remember him from Medical Center? And funny comedian Johnny Brown, a big round black guy. And he passed away back in 2022 at the age of 84. He was hilarious. Johnny Brown, born on this date in history.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
I was brought up in a family that loved IndyCar racing. Jockey Stewart, the great Scottish race car driver, 86 years old today. Adrienne Barbeau, a couple of things I really like about her. Adrienne Barbeau, 80 years old today. From All My Children and the Young and the Restless, Peter Bergman, 72 today. House, Hugh Laurie, 66 today. And surgeon, author, TV host, and now a member of the Trump administration, Dr. Oz, is 65 today.
National conversation about health and wellness. So let's start talking. The number one thing people ask me about is dieting.
Now the administrator of the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Dr. Mehmet Oz, 65. From Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage is 56.
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
Feisty little fella, isn't he? From Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage is 56. Shia LaBeouf is 39.
I was just to get in the car.
And go where?
50 years from now, when you're looking back at your life, don't you want to be able to say you had the guts to get in the car?
From the original Transformers movie, Shia LaBeouf, 39 years old today. And from Gotham, Charlie Tehan is 27. Those just a few of the people celebrating the 11th day of June as their birthday. If this is your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
Head out to the west coast of the U.S., Bob Bailey, Virginia Gregg with an episode of Let George Do It, and Sucker Stunt. That's up next here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Keep your guard up. That's the key slogan of the 1950 National Guard recruiting drive, and it's a slogan as timely as today's headlines. More than ever before, America stands prepared, and the National Guard must recruit approximately 220,000 men as soon as possible. By joining the National Guard, young men will have the advantage of choosing their own unit and preparing themselves for promotion by being in a job for which they are best qualified. Investigate the National Guard now. Help America to keep up its guard.
Sponsored by Standard Oil and originally only broadcast on the west coast of the United States, many of the episodes of Let George Do It that we have, and this may be one of them, was actually taken from that series. They were transcribed in the 50s. They were, the commercials for Standard Oil were cut out of them, and they would actually ship them back to be used over WOR in New York City as programming for that station. So here we go back 74 years, June 11th, 1951. Bob Bailey, Virginia Gregg, and Let George Do It, and the Sucker Stunt.
Personal notice. Danger's my stock and trade. If the job's too tough for you to handle, you got a job for me, George Valentine. Write full details.
Say, you all set for another visit with Valentine? I hope so. Because as always, we have what I think is a real peachy little bit of mayhem in store for you. It's a little thing called Sucker Stunt, which will give you a rough idea as what is about to take place. In case you want the gaps filled in, why don't you forget about me and watch how George handles the situation on Let George Do It.
Dear Mr. Valentine, I'll be back around 10:30 and then we'll get the guy.
What? Go on.
Well, that's all it says, George. Just a note shoved under the door. I found it when I opened up. Dear Mr. Valentine, I'll be back around 10:30, and then we'll get the guy. There's no time or signature.
Hello. What's the matter? Hey, you waited for me, didn't you? Oh, I'm Tim McGeehan.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Well, sure, I'm the guy who...
Yeah, I know. You wrote this note.
But you didn't sign it.
I what? How do you like that? I'm so wound up, I don't know what I'm doing. Sure, Tim McGeehan, that's my name.
Sit down. You look worn out. Been up all night?
Working. Here, let me unload, huh? I'm a photographer, see?
Yeah, so I noticed.
Work up the north side of town. You know, weekly newspaper, that kind of stuff. I'm doing all right, see? I could support her myself. That's what gets me. That's what I don't understand.
Her? I thought it was a guy you were out to get.
Oh, well, sure. His name is Florio.
I think you'd better start at the beginning.
What happened? Did somebody steal your girl?
Huh? Oh, no. It's my kid's sister, see? She's only 18, lives with an aunt, but I feel sort of responsible. But you know how girls that age are. She won't listen to anything.
She mixed up with this guy?
I'm afraid she'll marry him. His address is down
What's
here.
What's wrong with him? Why do you need me?
Look, Mr. Valentine, I'm just an ordinary dull jerk. My sister won't listen to me. But I want you to see this guy. All this romantic European stuff, there's something fishy with it.
Look, I still don't get it. What's fishy about
Look, he's never told her what his business is. And he won't tell her. He's a good 20 years older than her. I phoned him once, trying to meet him, have a beer or something. But you know what he said? It was none of my business. I had to stay away from him or I'd get a nosebleed.
Nice guy. Okay, Tim, you got his address. Let's go take a look at Florio's nose. Just for size.
You are listening to Let George Do It. Our adventure will continue in just a minute. Now back to George Valentine and Let George Do It.
Are you married?
I used to be, but she wasn't much. It was no good. We're sort of separated. Maybe that's it. I've been a sucker
Wait a minute,
myself.
hold on. You said 412, didn't you?
Florio's. We buy and sell. Looks more like a bookie joint. Jewelry, leather goods, exchange, musical instruments.
That must be him right there in the window, then. Dark boy with the light teeth. Busy as a beaver. Okay, I'll go inside and take a look.
Yeah, but what are you going to say? You'll spoil everything if you're telling me.
Don't worry. I'll think of something.
Look, if you can strike up a conversation, make them spend a little time, maybe you could... Wait a minute, here. Here, take this.
Huh?
Sell it to him.
Your camera?
Yeah, sure. It's got a couple scratches. Anyway, I got another. I get them wholesale.
Well, from the looks of the place, you'll probably get clipped.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It'd be worth the price even to have that much on them. Here. Ask for $175. That's what it was, wholesale. Go ahead.
Well, it's another sucker stunt, but okay.
I'll wait for you.
Good morning.
Hello. You, Florio? You the boss?
Also the cook and bottle washer, yeah. You have business?
Yeah.
Of course, Mr. Valentine. It's a pleasure.
Oh, you know me?
Oh, yes. I have been in this neighborhood 15 years. What is it, the camera?
Yeah.
Sell or loan?
Well, see what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think I've ever stopped in your shop here before. Pretty good business?
Pretty good taxes. How is your business, Mr. Valentine? You must get a great many strange cases.
Oh, I do.
Well, a Jefferson Mini, eh? 2.9 lens.
Yeah, good condition. Practically new.
Oh, it seems a shame to sell. Do you have a little time?
Why?
Oh, not about the camera. I just thought you might have lunch. You see, if you wouldn't mind, my wife is a great admirer of yours.
Your, wife, Florio?
My boss. My better three-quarters. Not beautiful, but then so am I. And such a wonderful
Florio,
cook,
let me see that camera a second, will you?
Oh, the scratches. I didn't even notice.
No, neither did I. Nice compact camera, though. Fits in my pocket without its even being noticed.
Yes, why sell it? But if you wish, I give you a loan. But this is not important. It is lunch with me and my wife and children.
I'd love to,
and...
Floria, but some other time, okay?
Uh-huh.
Right now, I gotta straighten out a sucker.
Hey, but what did he say? What did he
Here's the money. $25.
25?
What's the matter? Not enough?
Oh, sure, but...
All right, come on back to the office. I want you to sign a receipt.
But, Mr. Valentine, I got work to do
Look,
today.
if a guy's crooked, you want him nailed legally. Well, come on, let's get going.
Mr. Valentine, what is this? You've been driving almost 3 hours now.
Mr. Valentine doesn't like to talk while he drives.
But even when you went back up to the office, you didn't explain.
I had some phone calls to make, that's all.
I think he telephoned your sister, Tim.
Oh, is that nice, Angel? He knows he hasn't got a sister.
Now, look.
Just like he knows that the first time he saw Florio was probably when he walked by the shop this morning. Took a look at Florio so he could describe him to me.
Look, I don't understand you at all. I don't know.
Okay.
If I'd known that you weren't going to believe anything I said, I'd have gone someplace else. Holy smoke, look at the time. I got work to do. What do you think you're taking me anyway? My wife will be worried if I don't phone her.
Oh, I thought you said you were separated from your wife, that she was no good.
Well,
How could you phone her if she doesn't have a number?
What?
I checked that while George was talking to the police.
To the Well, sure. I really got a wife, but she don't live in the city. We don't even speak. What is this, Apple Junction?
Don't you know?
No. Never been out this way before.
Oh. May I read him the early morning newspaper, George? It's just a little item, not very important. Mr. Ben Roberts, a salesman for the Fruit Growers Equipment Company, said that he picked up the hitchhiker about 100 miles north of Apple Junction shortly after midnight, and that the man held him up and left him after traveling south only a few miles. The man was described as ordinary in appearance, about 35 years old, about 5 feet 9 inches in height, wearing overcoat and hat.
Well, I guess that could be almost anybody, couldn't it?
Taken from Mr. Roberts was $112 in cash, including a $50 bill, a good luck Canadian dollar, and a brand new camera, Jefferson miniature with an f2.9 lens.
Hey, that's a coincidence.
Yeah, isn't it? Doesn't say anything about scratches, does it, Angel? Where the camera serial number should have been?
No, George.
Now listen, both of you.
Oh, Tim, it's as old as the hills, that gag. You want to fence a stolen item, but you see a newspaper story about it, so you want to be careful. You get somebody like me who's known in the neighborhood to make the sale for you. After I'd handed you the money, you'd have made up another bright story and disappeared.
That's not true.
I didn't say it was. I haven't accused you of anything. But, brother, you used the word sucker a little too loosely. Oh, I know I stick my neck out putting an ad like mine in the paper, and all too often bright boys like you try to take advantage of it.
George, turn right. There's the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
No, let me out. Please let me out. I'll explain everything.
For once, Buster, I'm going to make a sucker out of the guy who tried to make me a sucker.
No, please keep going. I didn't do it. I never even been in this town before, honest.
Well, look who's here. If it ain't Tim McGeehan. Been away?
Oh, no.
Okay, sucker. Now I start enjoying myself.
Well, Tim here's never really been in any trouble before, Mr. Valentine, but he sure fits the description.
Yeah, I'll say he does.
Oh, be quiet, will you? What are you doing here anyway, Ames? He's the hired hand out of my wife's place, Mr. Valentine. Nobody believes him.
I sent for him just a few minutes ago.
Well, day off. I guess I can do anything I want, can't I?
Ben! Oh, Ben.
Right here, Sheriff. Just admiring the calendars in your office. Better than the ones in the barber shop. Oh, excuse me, lady.
Ben Roberts, Miss Brooks, Mr. Valentine.
Roberts, the one who was robbed at midnight last night?
First time in 17 years on this road. Let me tell you, Mac, I've picked up hitchhikers all my life, and not a single one of them has ever held me up.
Skivett. Is this the guy, Ben?
Of course not. Of course I'm not.
Is he?
Well, it was night. I don't want to just come right out.
Here's the camera. He scratched off the serial number. He hasn't been searched yet for the money, but...
I'll do it right now.
Let go. Let me get your hands off.
Here, here's his wallet. It's your pen, ain't it, Ben?
Me?
Sure, with the trick flashlight. You showed it to me once, remember?
Yeah.
Look, I found it, I tell you. I found it someplace yesterday. I
Oh,
don't
stop
know.
trying so hard, Tim. Here's a $50 bill in the wallet. You don't see them very often.
George, look, a Canadian dollar.
Oh, cut it out. I don't have to see all that stuff.
You don't have to be a nice guy, Mr. Roberts.
Yeah, who's kidding who? I recognize him. Sorry, sucker.
Okay, Sheriff, that's it. So long, Tim.
I'll get even with you, Valentine.
Hold on a minute, Valentine. You're not leaving. While you were out driving with this bird, I got another case.
What do you mean?
Well, apparently sometime around midnight last night, about 50 miles south of here, that's where Tim McGeehan's wife lived. Well, that's when the doctor says she was murdered.
What's that? What'd you say? My wife? Oh, no, she can't be.
And at the same time, Tim was committing a robbery 100 miles north of town.
That's what I mean, Valentine. I really need your help. Tim's the only good suspect. But since you proved he couldn't do it, well, now you've given him a perfect alibi.
Okay, Sheriff, don't rub it in. And all I wanted was to keep from being played for a sucker. Oh, brother.
You are listening to Let George Do It. Our adventure will continue in just a minute.
And now back to George Valentine. If your name is George Valentine, you don't enjoy being played for a sucker. And so when Tim McGeehan comes into your office with a weak-kneed story, you waste no time in turning the tables on him. You take him out to Apple Junction, where you prove that he committed a hitchhike robbery of a salesman north of town. Oh, no, you're no sucker. Not much. Because now you find that at exactly the same time, Tim's wife was being murdered south of town.
Ben, you could have made a mistake, couldn't you?
Well, I might have, George. That's your name, isn't it, George? We had a sales manager once whose name
Yeah,
was...
well, I mean, when you identified that guy, he's strictly a medium-sized, medium-everything character.
You're going to say that again?
Well, you hesitated. Yeah, I remember you hesitated.
That's right, George. So I did. The man hates to point a finger at another man and say, put him in jail.
Yeah, I know how you feel. But, maybe you were wrong.
Well, now, a man's a fool if he don't say he's wrong once in a while. At least that's what the milkman said to the prize fighter's wife.
Yeah, Well, it was late at night. Maybe you were out with some of the boys earlier. Don't remember too well.
Tell you a funny thing about me, George. I like a good time as well as the next fella, but not when I'm working. See that? You don't get solid gold watches in my outfit for just flirting with waitresses. No, sir. Last night I might have been tired, but I was wide awake and alert. Anyway, how do you explain all that stuff of mine? He had it, didn't he?
Okay, Ben, okay, skip it. His wife was quite a dish, I understand.
Search me. But she owned an orchard, the sheriff says.
Yeah, that's what bothers me most. Tim McGeehan's the only one to benefit from her death. And he's got a perfect alibi.
Don't take it so hard, Valentine. We haven't even got a fingerprint crew from the city out there yet.
Apparently it wasn't just a cold-blooded murder.
No, she was strangled and slugged over the head. Crime of passion. It's all it could be where a woman like Doris McGeehan was concerned.
So if it wasn't done for a money motive, then I don't see why you think it had to be Tim McGeehan.
Angel, I'm going to throw a curve back at that guy if it's the last thing I do. Come on, let's go see where it happened.
Okay. Hey, you, Ames.
Yeah?
Come on with us.
Ames?
Yeah, McGeehan's hired hand. He can show us around.
Nice orchard. Not a bad-looking little place.
Yeah, careful of the loose board there.
Hey, get off the porch. Who is it?
Hello, Joe. My deputy. Mr. Valentine, Miss Brooks.
Oh, come in, folks.
You weren't here yesterday, Mr. Ames?
Oh, no, ma'am, not me. Day off. I always go fishing on my day off. Spend the night in the hills.
Here, Mr. Valentine. Here's where the body was.
Who found it?
Joe here. Come out to ask a couple questions about Tim after you phoned saying you had him.
Wow. It certainly was a fight here, wasn't there?
You'll see. Table knocked over, rug kicked up.
Yeah, and the front door was open, just the way it is now.
George, where are you going?
Back door. Through here, isn't it?
That's right, Mr. Valentine.
Yeah. Locked.
Hey, what are you doing?
Want to shut the front door, that's all. Uh-huh. Latch was on this one, too, wasn't it?
What are you driving at?
Oh, simple type crime, Sheriff. Ames, where did you say you were last night?
Well, up in the hills, I told you.
Sure, I know, but where are the fish you caught?
Well, only got one. I ate it. Now, looky here.
You notice the two glasses there on the table, Sheriff?
Yeah?
You say Mrs. McGeehan had no particular friends
Well,
or
there's
anybody?
a couple of fellas, but it only took about 2 seconds to cross them off fast. One was up in San Francisco, the other was a party.
Never mind. I think I know how to wrap this crime up for you fast. And I'll enjoy doing it, too.
George, what are you talking about?
We're not far from the highway, Valentine. Almost any transient or bum could have wandered
All
over
right,
here.
look at the evidence, Sheriff. Mrs. McGeehan was alone, right?
Yeah.
Then someone came, a man, but he couldn't have just broken in because both doors were locked.
Well, that's true, but
If he'd been a stranger, there's a telephone. She could have called for help. Besides, whoever it was, she gave him a drink.
Well, you got to break Tim McGeehan's alibi. He hated her, I tell you. They fought lots of times. I seen him.
Ames, I know it'd be nice if we could hang it onto him, but we can't. So who's left but you?
Oh, now, wait a minute, Sheriff.
He paid no attention to her, only worked
I
here.
told you it was a simple crime. Just because you know him, stop shutting your eyes to the obvious.
Well, let go of me. I didn't do it.
Ames, come back
I didn't. I'm not going to get railroaded.
Look out, George!
Oh, no, you don't. Bust it.
Holy smoke. He's such a nice guy.
All right, you got your murderer, Sheriff. Lock him up.
Valentine, I know you're sore at me.
All right, if I use your one chair, Tim?
Oh, sure. Not a very fancy sell, I'm afraid.
Tim, now listen to me. I was sore at you, sure. That camera deal, you played me for a sucker.
Well, I never pulled a robbery before.
For a while, I thought maybe you'd suckered me into helping you with a gratuitous alibi.
Mr. Valentine.
All right, forget it. Relax, would you? Sheriff will be here in a minute. He's got Ames, all right.
What?
Yeah. So I thought I'd better be a nice guy and warn you what the penalty is for armed holdup. Robbing a man of several $100 worth of stuff.
But what did you say about Ames?
You'd better worry about yourself for a change, Tim.
What?
Of course, first offense could be heavy. You might be out in a couple of years, but...
Look, what are you driving at? I know what a dumb thing I did.
Oh, no. Maybe it was smart. This man, Ben Roberts, got held up last night up north and reported it as soon as he got into town. The early morning papers printed the story. Well, that was quite a break. Good piece of luck.
Piece of what? Look, you're getting me all mixed up.
You didn't come to see me until after the banks had opened, 10:30, remember? So you'd have had a chance to go get some money, pick up a Canadian dollar and a new camera. After all, the newspaper told you what kind to buy.
No, that's not true. I don't know what you're talking about. Then what's that you said about Ames being...
Let go of me, will you? Let go of me.
Cut it out, Ames. Get in there. Go
Sheriff, listen, get me a lawyer. Get
Lawyer's
me a lawyer.
not gonna do you any good.
Get me a lawyer.
Well, I'll be... So that's it. He did it. Ames did it. He killed Doris.
Now you see what I mean about thinking of yourself?
The penalty for robbery, Tim, could easily be 5 years.
You sent for me, George?
Oh, yeah, Ben. Stick around. You too, Sheriff.
I can't get over it. Ames. He never even noticed Doris, just a hired hand. I ran. I didn't even think of looking for him.
What did you say?
I mean...
5 years, Tim. So how about it? I understand what kind of a spot you were in. The only big suspect for her death. She played around and you hated her, even if you didn't live there anymore.
Mr. Valentine, I don't know what...
I gave you a start a minute ago, huh? You read about Ben's robbery in the newspaper. You knew nobody'd ever believe you unless you had a foolproof alibi. You figured it was better to take a lesser rap in order to make sure of dodging the gas chamber.
Hey, what's all this, George?
Oh, well, you gave me the idea, Ben. You wouldn't have described the hitchhiker in such general terms unless you really hadn't got too good a look at him.
But he had my camera.
Well, he was running. He was in the city. He saw a list of what was stolen in the newspaper. He realized he'd fit the vague description. So, he went around and bought the stuff, filed the serial number off the camera so you couldn't check it, and also so I'd be sure to see through his story and nail him. In fact, he hired me to nail him.
Holy smoke.
Oh, Sheriff, ask the other guy to step in here, will you please?
Sure. You, come in here. That's all right. Just stand there in the door.
Uh-huh. Medium-sized, About 35. Wearing hat and overcoat. What about it, Ben?
You mean, could that guy be the one who held me up? Oh, gosh, I don't know. Who is he?
Cop, I dressed up. Okay, thanks, Joe.
Don't that beat all? You know, I'll grant you it is pretty hard to identify a man.
Never mind. I'll tell the truth.
Well, now you're getting smart, Tim. Only what happened that made you so sure you had to pull all this?
Yes, what did you mean a second ago when you said you ran? You didn't even think of looking for Ames.
Well, I was there after it happened at
All
Doris'.
right, go on. They'll need your testimony.
Well, I went down to see Doris last night. I was good and sore. She'd been playing around with guys on the QT. Even if we are separated, it doesn't mean that you can... Well, anyway, my fingerprints are probably all over the house. When I got there, the door was open. She was lying there dead. I ran, hopped a truck to the city, but I had to make up something, didn't I?
And a robbery north of town was the golden opportunity, sure. Brooksy, you get all that down?
I've got it all, George.
What?
Sheriff, that does it. You can turn Ames loose now. I've broken the sucker's alibi.
Why, you dirty
Oh, no.
cow!
George!
Stop him!
Cut it out. Cut it out. All right, now take it easy. I didn't say you killed your wife, did I? Well, what's the matter? There's a fair chance he didn't. He just took advantage of a lucky break, that's all, the holdup.
What are you driving at, Valentine?
Hasn't it occurred to any of you that the holdup itself might be phony?
What's all this?
Yeah, that Ben here is just about the type guy who might have been mixed up with Doris McGeehan on the QT, the big traveling salesman.
Oh, George, you're crazy.
That last night he could have come into town from the south instead of the north after throwing away his camera and money and a Canadian dollar. Oh, Buster, it sure must have scared you today when the robber showed up. And of all people, her husband.
You're going to let him talk like that, Sheriff? I never even met this Doris.
When we searched you today, Tim, you had Ben's fountain pen, the one with the trick flashlight, remember?
What, if he took it off me last night when he held me up?
Careful, Ben, careful. Don't get tangled up now. If anybody had stolen it from you, they'd have taken it out of your pocket, right? And if so, why didn't they take that solid gold watch you're so proud of?
George, that's right.
Hey.
Of course, Tim claimed he'd found the pen someplace.
Sure, that's
so
the point.
it couldn't have been stolen anyway, huh?
Wait a minute. Let me think. Never occurred to me.
Found it yesterday, you said, Tim. Come on, now. I remember. Sometime yesterday, or last night.
Don't listen to him. How would he know?
I'm trying to remember. Shut up.
Where'd you find it? Where, Tim? Someplace around your wife's farm, maybe. Last night, maybe.
Wait, I got it. Yeah, sure, the pen. I picked it up. Sure. I know where. Sure. Mr. Roberts.
No. Look out. Get out of my way. I'll kill you, too.
Grab him, Sheriff.
That doesn't...
George, I know Ben Roberts is the murderer, but the only trouble is, look at Tim McGeehan's face. Like the cat that ate the mouse. Of course, he did make a sucker out of you, but...
Brooksy, stick around. In about 2 seconds, I'll settle once and for all who's the sucker in this case.
You are listening to Let George Do It. You will hear the conclusion of our adventure in just a minute.
Mr. Valentine, he confessed, so what's the difference?
Tell me now. Where did you find his pen, Tim?
Well, you don't need it as evidence. I'll remember eventually, but last night I was so scared and upset.
That you don't remember at all.
Well, it must have been around a farm someplace.
Uh-huh. You just pretended you knew so that he'd...
Well, it did the trick. Boy, that guy's a real sucker.
You're pretty good at taking people in, too.
Well...
But it's so stupid. If you'd come to George in the first place and told him the truth instead of going out to buy that camera and pretending...
Robert's phony hold-up story might never have been broken.
He's right, Angel, the way it worked out.
So, now I'm all clear. I pick up my $50 bill and camera from the sheriff and walk out. I gamble my whole savings and maybe 5 years in prison, and now I'm free and it don't even cost me a cent.
Whole savings account, huh? Well, here, look at this. Camera's worth over 200 retail, isn't it?
Well, sure, I can get at least... Hey, wait a minute. No, give me that.
Oh, no. Here's the receipt you signed. I bought that camera for $25. Get the picture? So long, sucker.
You have just heard Sucker Stunt, another Let George Do It adventure. Robert Bailey is starred as George Valentine, with Virginia Gregg as Brooksy. David Victor and Jackson Gillis wrote the story, with music by Eddie Dunstetter. Now, this is yours truly inviting you to another visit with Valentine, when you will again hear what happens when you let George do it.
74 years ago, June 11th, 1951, Let George Do It, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Yeah, the commercials edited out. That was a program that was probably shipped off to WOR in New York for them to use in New York City. Fun show, always good, and you gotta love the double hook there on the end. There you go. Coming up next, we'll stay in New York for another transcribed episode of Dick Kollmar as Boston Blackie.
You can help children, old folks, the sick, and the aged. You can help destroy juvenile delinquency. You can make your town a healthier place in which to live. You can do all this with just one gift, a contribution to your community chest. 4 out of 10 families in community chest areas benefit directly from the services you help to support. The other families benefit indirectly by better community living conditions. So make your town a better place to live. Give generously to your community chest.
Originally syndicated by Ziff, the people who did a lot of syndication work with a whole big number of shows. This show then aired on Mutual, and it aired on June 11th, 1947. Dick Kollmar, Broadway producer, director, actor, and he was married to Dorothy Kilgallen. Boston Blackie. 78 years ago today, June 11th, 1947, as Blackie shoots a Watchman?
What was that address again, Mary?
2400 Wallace Street. It should be in the next block, Blackie.
Want me to wait after I drop you off?
Well, that depends on what you've got to do. If it's something that might lead you into trouble, wait for me.
Well, you know I never get into trouble, Mary. It's only the criminals I go after that get into it.
Well, that's the way it's been up till now, but every time you leave me, I start to worry.
Don't you trust me, lady?
Oh, Blackie, you know how important you are to me.
Well, I'm kind of important to me, too, Mary. Now, stop worrying. And here's that 2400 address. I'll pick you up in half an hour, if you like.
Well, I don't know how long I'll be. You better go and I'll take a cab. But, Blackie, please.
I promise not to get hit by some gangster's bullet, if only because we have a date tonight, okay?
Sure.
I'll see you tonight. My cold ought to be better by then.
Well, I certainly hope so. Bye.
Bye. Morning. What can I do for you?
I'm Mary Wesley. I phoned you earlier this morning.
Oh, that's right, you did. Sit down.
Thank you.
Okay. What's your problem, Miss Wesley?
First, is this as good a private detective agency as you advertise?
We're modest, Miss Wesley. Or even better than that.
Well, we'll soon find out. I have a difficult job for you.
Harder they are, the better we'll like 'em. What do you want us to do?
I want you to follow someone.
Shadowing's easy, Miss Wesley. So easy we sometimes hate to take money for. Oh, but we will.
Well, I think you'll find it rather hard to follow this person. And whatever the cost, I'll pay it. Money is no object.
Then what is the object in following this man?
Well, that's not important. I just want you to follow him everywhere he goes. Now, don't let him out of your sight for 1 minute. I want you to get a detailed report on everything he does. But everything.
Can do. My man will watch him every minute. Now, just one little detail. What's the name of the guy you want shadowed?
His name is Boston Blackie.
And now back to Dick Kollmar as Boston Blackie. Enemy to those who make him an enemy. Friend to those who have no friend.
Hello, boss.
Hello, Tommy. Where you been?
Me? I've been...
No, don't tell me. I know. Gone down to the Herald building to get your newspaper off the truck again.
But I had it, boss. I just had to see what Dick Dash Detective did to Peach Face, and I couldn't wait.
You'd take your sweet time about going to see your dying mother. But you can't wait for the paper to come out to see what happens to Dick Dash.
Boss, sometimes I wait for the paper to be delivered.
You wait for the paper when you don't wake up till just before it's delivered. Now, look, sit down. I want to talk to you.
You want to see Dick Dash? He's going to take the fuzz off Peach Face's kiss,
Look,
Annie.
sit down or I'll take the nose off yours. Now, we got this new stick-up racket going, and it's going great. But it can be greater.
Yeah, I know. We've been doing awful good lately, ain't we?
Yeah, but it's only the beginning. Now, listen, Tommy, I want...
Want me to duck, boss?
No, just sit where you are. I might need you.
I get it.
Come in.
Hello, Fredericks.
Well, Boston Blackie. What do you want down here? As if it would make any difference to me.
Any other time, Fredericks, I'd resent talk like that. Now I'm taking it.
Well, what's the rover boy got roving around in his mind? You know Tommy, don't you?
Who'd want to?
Look, Blackie, maybe I...
Sit down, small stuff. I came here to see your boss, not to clip you.
Oh, is that so? Well, kid, let's start something right now.
Shut up, Tommy.
Okay.
Blackie may want something here, but I don't think it's trouble.
You're right, Fredericks. It's a job.
A job? I didn't think you worked, Blackie. Except on people like us.
Well, the time has come when I think I ought to work with people like you. That's all right. Laugh if you want, Fredericks, but I need money. That's not funny to me.
You broke, Blackie? I don't believe it.
I'll tell you how broke I am. You're in a good racket. The risk is high, but so is the take. I want in.
Oh, now, Blackie, please. Aren't you being just a little corny? You don't think I'd trust you within a mile of me when I'm doing a job, do you?
I didn't expect you to, no. But you could give me a chance. Find out if you can trust me. Then if you can, let me in. I could be a big help to you.
Now, that's the first thing you've said that I can believe, Blackie. I'll tell you what I'll do. You can come in on a job with us tonight.
All right.
Now, wait a minute. I'm no sucker. You're in on my terms.
I'm listening.
There may be trouble. And if there is, and if I have the slightest idea that you were responsible, I'll kill you before you can move an eyelash.
Hello?
Mary, this is Blackie.
Oh, Blackie, I called your apartment 10 times since I got home and you weren't there. Now, where are you?
In a phone booth on Wheaton Street. I've just come from seeing Fredericks.
Seeing him or trying to see him?
I saw him. And he didn't see through me. Well, not completely. But he's ruined our date tonight.
Well, I don't mind that too much as long as you got what you wanted. Only be careful, please, Blackie. For me.
I'll do my best. I'm going out with Fredericks tonight, sort of a trial. I'll be with him from 8 till midnight when we pull a job.
Well, then I won't see you till tomorrow?
Yeah, that's the way it looks. Oh, how did you do with your end of the deal?
Oh, don't worry. A man from the Brown Detective Agency will follow you everywhere you go. He'll see everything you do.
Good. Now all I have to do is hope that Inspector Faraday doesn't interfere.
Yeah.
Because if I'm in the groove tonight, Fredericks and his boys will be in the bag tomorrow.
Keep moving through the bushes till you're under that first window there, Blackie.
All right, Fredericks.
And Tommy and Bill will drop the stuff down to us.
Yeah.
Hey, you did a good job on that lock, Blackie.
Thanks. That's my new business from now on.
Yeah.
Hey, Fredericks, did you have to pick a place surrounded by bushes? Ouch! Those thorns hurt.
Yeah, you'll get a worse pain than that from this gun in your back if you cross us tonight, Blackie.
Why don't you stop that talk? I'm in this because I want to get something out of it. And that's all. Oh, I'm glad we're out of those bushes, though. Which window do we stay under?
Oh, the one just above us now.
Oh.
Hey, there's Bill up there. Toss the stuff down, Bill.
Okay.
Where's Tommy?
Watching the entrance of the building so Bill can work without having to be his own lookout.
Hey, down there. Catch.
I got it. Hey, what is this stuff?
Just something that's easier to steal than earn.
One guess. Money, huh?
Good guess.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, boss?
We're ready to make a break for it. You stick up there as a lookout till we get away.
Sure, boss. I'll stay up here. Hey, boss.
Yeah?
The watchman. He's coming around the back of the building. I can see him from here. I'd better let him have it.
Yeah, make it snappy.
Wait a minute. Quiet up there, Bill. He'll hear you. Fredericks.
Well, Blackie, start talking.
I'll handle the watchman, okay with you?
Okay, but do it fast.
I'm on my way. I ought to be able to tag him just before he comes around the corner of the building.
I'll wait here, Blackie. Only don't get cute. Just don't get cute.
Something awful funny's going on here.
Good night, friend. Oh. I tagged him, Fredericks. He won't move for a while.
Better shoot him, Blackie. If he's alive, you'll know what you look like.
You're the boss. Oh, Fredericks, I knocked him off. We'd better get going now.
Okay, Blackie, that was nice shooting. All right, come on. That shot will bring the cops here in no time.
Believe me, I'm not waiting around to say hello to them. Let's go.
Yeah.
For some reason or other, I don't mind the thorns on these bushes as much as I did.
Maybe it's because you don't have a gun in your back now.
What does that mean?
It's you're okay, Blackie. I can use you. Shooting that watchman will set you in solid.
Thanks. Hey, there's Tommy at the car. Where's Bill?
Probably still in the building. But he'll get away. If he doesn't, so what? I've got you to take his place.
I'm awful proud of what you did last night, Blackie. I think we ought to celebrate.
Suits me. Like to go to the Carlton tonight?
You talked me into it.
We're celebrating a little early, you know, honey. I'm in the Fredericks gang, all right, but I still have to find out where their next job is so I can have Faraday there to grab them.
What would the inspector do without you? And for that matter, what would I do?
Oh, that's what I like. An interruption when the conversation was getting good. Come in.
Hello, Blackie.
Hello, Faraday, old pal. Mary and I were planning to go out to celebrate. Want to join us?
Blackie, when you and Miss Wesley go out, she's going home. And you're probably going downtown with me.
You mean there's a doubt in your mind?
Not much of a one, I'll tell you that. Blackie, you've been trying to get something on a guy named Fredericks, huh?
Don't look now, Inspector, but I've practically gotten what I want. I was on a job with him last night.
That's what I thought. You shot the watchman on that job, didn't you?
Sure, with blanks.
Blanks? Since when would a blank cartridge kill a man?
What?
That watchman was found shot to death, Blackie.
Well, listen...
Not that it should be any news to you.
Blackie.
Hold it, Mary. You know how wrong Faraday generally is. Inspector, for your information, I went on that job last night to get evidence you need, and I did shoot the watchman, just as I said. But I used a blank cartridge, and that's definite.
Maybe, only I don't believe it. Let me see your gun.
Well, sure, if you want to. But I've taken the blanks out and reloaded it with real bullets.
That's all. You never had blanks in it, Blackie. Blanks don't kill people, and that watchman you shot is dead.
Are you serious?
You're the one who makes jokes, not me.
Wait a minute, Faraday. I didn't kill anybody. This was part of a plan, and I have an alibi.
Yeah?
Mary hired a detective to follow me everywhere I went. He was there when I fired at that watchman, and he must have seen that watchman get up as soon as Fredericks and I ran away.
What?
I wanted in on the Fredericks gang so I could turn them over to you. Mary hired a private detective, so if something like this happened, I'd be in the clear.
A private detective from the Brown Agency, Inspector Faraday. He saw what Blackie did, and he'll prove that the watchman wasn't really shot by Blackie.
Well, let's have him prove it.
Okay, I'll call the agency right away.
I hope this guy saw what happened, Blackie.
He saw everything, Faraday. He was instructed not to let me get out of his sight. And that agency has good men.
I got a good mind not to even wait to find out.
You've got a good mind. Your mind is so dull you could be arrested for carrying a blunt instrument. Now, just wait till you hear what this detective has to say.
I'll wait.
Brown Detective Agency, Brown speaking.
Mr. Brown, this is Mary Wesley.
Oh, Miss Wesley, glad you called. I've been trying to get in touch with you for hours.
Well, I haven't been home all day. Mr. Brown, I want you to speak to Inspector
Miss Wesley, I'm afraid I have to give you an unpleasant report.
Huh?
My man lost Boston Blackie's trail late this afternoon. Couldn't find a trace of him after that.
And now back to Boston Blackie. A man named Fredericks heads a stick-up gang, and in an effort to trap him, Boston Blackie joins him in a robbery. During the robbery, Blackie shoots a watchman. A private detective was supposed to be following Blackie to testify, if necessary, that the watchman got up after the shot because Blackie used blanks. It turns out, though, the watchman is found shot and killed. And when it is learned that the private detective lost Blackie's trail before the robbery, Blackie has no way of proving that he didn't kill the man. As we return to our story, Faraday prepares to take Blackie to jail for murder.
Faraday, you have to listen to me.
I'll listen to you in the lineup, Blackie. And when I get you into that light in the Detective Bureau, I want you to talk plenty.
I like the light I'm under right now. Have you ever seen a prettier chandelier?
I've never seen a prettier mess than you're in right now.
Inspector Faraday, please, now let Blackie...
Quiet, Miss Wesley,
But,
huh?
Inspector, all Blackie needs is a little time, and then he'll find the man who killed that watchman.
You've been around Blackie so much, you're beginning to think like him.
If you'd stick around, maybe you'd start thinking, period. Give me just a few hours, and I'll clear this up for you, Faraday. I promise you.
It's clear enough already, Blackie. So you're going to headquarters. And no tricks.
Why, you know I'd never pull a trick on you.
No, not much. But this time you don't get a chance. Turn around, Blackie. I want your back to me.
It's impolite.
All right, apologize to Emily Post later. Turn around, I said. This time I'm going to make sure there are no tricks.
Faraday, you're making a mistake.
Sure, I know.
All right, my back is turned.
Oh, Inspector, won't you listen?
And not to you, Miss Wesley, so be quiet.
No.
All right, Blackie. Take your gun out of your pocket, then put both hands over your head.
With my gun in one hand?
Yeah, with your gun in one hand, pointing at the ceiling. You can't shoot me with your gun in that position. I can walk over and take it.
You're clever, Inspector. All right, my gun is in my hand and my hands are in the air.
And I'm coming up behind you and...
Ah! Blackie, what's happened?
Hey, the lights. Blackie, come back here. Come back. Where are you going?
The same place the light in that chandelier just went, Inspector. Out!
This guy, Dick Dash, sure is great, boy. Sure is great.
What do you do all night, Tommy? Wait up for Dick Dash to come out in the morning?
Yeah, he went down and got on the newspaper truck again this morning, boss. I think the guy's nuts.
Well, I'm glad you're not, Bill. Smart work after the stick-up last night. What made you get down to make sure that Watchman was dead?
The sap looked up when you and Blackie ducked through the bushes, boss.
Oh?
I was still watching in the second-story window. I saw him.
Hey, boss. Dick Dash has Peach Face backed into a potato
Shut up
peeler.
about Dick Dash, will you, Tommy?
All right.
So, you shot the Watchman yourself, huh, Bill?
Yeah, and just in time, too. He was just getting up. I let him have it, and that was all. You know, I wasn't surprised that guy was alive. Didn't trust Blackie.
Yeah, I almost did. I sure don't now.
Think we better get out of town?
No, not yet. Blackie will be here pretty soon. He knows the score. He knows what's happened to him, and he'll be here to make sure something happens to us. Tommy. Tommy, you put down those funnies and listen to me.
Oh, sure, boss.
Look, you get in this closet here.
In the closet? What for?
Insurance.
What are you talking about?
Blackie may be here to cause trouble. If he does, he'll be standing with his back to the closet when he starts it. I want you to come out and finish it. And him.
Oh, yeah, sure. Dick Dash did something like this once. Sure, boss. I'll listen from in here. If he gets tough, well, just leave it to me.
Leave Dick Dash out here. You can't read in the closet anyway. Bill.
Yeah?
First chance we have, let's get rid of that guy.
Yeah, that comic detective of his gets on my nerves, too. Guy goes nuts waiting to find out what's going to happen the next day.
Well, he's not the only guy who's nuts about those things. I'm just getting so, I don't like the guy anymore.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, all the odds that's Blackie. If he starts something, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Come in.
Hello, Fredericks. Hello, Bill.
Hi.
Well, 3 out of 4 of us are here. Where's Tommy?
Out getting his funny papers.
Getting him a little late this morning, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I'll take care of you two before he gets here and then handle him.
What?
Don't reach for your gun, Bill.
Tough, aren't you, Blackie?
You'll find out, both of you. Okay, reach. And turn your back to me.
What's wrong, Blackie?
You know what's wrong. That watchman was found dead, and Faraday thinks I killed him.
Well, you shot him, remember? Cozy, weren't you, Blackie?
I thought so at the time. I'm a little cozier now, though. Tommy, out of that closet.
Nobody's in the closet, Blackie.
No? Then what's the comic page of this paper lying around here for? Tommy's here, all right, and he's in there. You coming out, Tommy? Want a personal invitation? All right. Neither of you guys get cute now. You won't like what happens if you do.
There's nobody in there, Blackie.
All right, Tommy, out. No? Okay, I'll drag you out. Okay, come on, you little...
I did it, boss. Just like in Dick Dash Detective. When he yanked open the door, I let him have it. Blackie'll be out for an hour.
Good. This is the only place he knows about where he can find any of us. I'll beat it, both of you. I'll get in touch with you. Maybe we're out of business in this town, but after Faraday picks him up, I guarantee you, so's Boston Blackie.
Oh.
Hello, Mary. Sorry to wake you up.
Oh, Blackie, where you been?
Most of yesterday, I was unconscious on the floor of Frederick's office.
Blackie.
I'm all right now, except that I still have my cold, and most of the night I've been hiding from the police.
Oh, well, don't come up here. My apartment's being watched, and not because the police think I'm cute.
I know, they think I'm cute. Well, I do have a cute bump on my jaw.
Blackie, go to see Faraday and try to explain what really happened.
No, Mary, he's got no reason to believe me yet, and I've got to be free in order to clear myself.
Well, how are you going to start?
I'm not sure yet. Of course, I know who killed that watchman.
Yeah?
It's one of Frederick's men. But I have no proof, and I've got to find Fredericks if I can.
Oh, Blackie, please, now don't do anything foolish. If you haven't found what you want by morning, give yourself up. Oh, please, I'm scared.
Think how scared Fredericks ought to be about now. Well, I've got one lead on how to get to him.
Yeah?
A lead that has to do with the comic pages, only believe me, it isn't very funny.
Okay, number 6, you're all loaded. Get rolling. Okay. Oh, hold number 7. You got to haul a few hundred more this time.
Hey, you.
Yeah?
Sorry to bother you when you're busy.
Hey, I know who you are. You're Boston Blackie, I mean. Say, you're in an awful jam, Blackie.
I know I am, and I'm here to get out of it. Some guy comes here almost every morning to buy a paper off one of these trucks.
Yeah, he sure does. Oh, he hasn't been here this morning. Well, not yet, I mean.
Well, look, when he gets here, I want to talk to him.
Oh, sure, Blackie. Want me to point him out to you?
No, I know what he looks like. Only it's late, and looks like he's not going to show up.
Yeah, could be. Sure would like to help you, Blackie, if I could. I'm
That's
sorry.
all right. Okay. Thanks, anyhow.
Blackie.
Yeah?
Guy you were talking about. Here he is now.
That's the guy, all right. Give me that paper and tell him to step behind this truck to get it.
Okay. Oh, but Blackie...
Give me that paper, quick.
Oh, sure. Here you are.
Now, send that guy back here, and don't tell him who he's going to meet.
Okay.
Say, mister, I'll have one of those papers this morning. I gotta see Dick Dash Detective before I leave town.
Oh, you're leaving town?
Yeah.
Well, there's a man behind this truck with some extra papers. He'll sell you one.
Thanks a lot. Hey, you with the papers, give me one of those things. I gotta see...
You have to see me first, Tommy. And don't reach for a gun.
No.
Don't yell. And keep your back up against that truck.
I didn't do nothing, Blackie. I didn't hurt nobody.
That watchman was more than hurt at that holdup. He was killed. And I think you killed him.
No, I didn't kill him. It wasn't me.
Who was it then?
I don't know.
Lucky I didn't hear you, Tommy, or you'd get another clip. Now, who killed that watchman?
Wait, Blackie, wait, don't clip me again. It was Bill.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to know. Okay, where is he?
But he left town last night. I don't know where he went.
Why,
wait, Blackie, honest, I don't know.
I'll find out where. He killed that watchman? With his own gun?
Yeah, Blackie, yeah.
How do you know?
I heard Bill tell Fredericks.
Where's Fredericks?
I don't...
Tommy, I'm gonna knock...
He's living under the name of Colfax in the Walton Hotel.
That's different. Okay, Tommy. Here's your funny papers. Let's see how you like reading them in jail.
Blackie, this is the first time I've ever arrested a man and then let him go to a hotel. The things I let you get away with.
Faraday, you let me come here to the Walton, but you came with me, didn't you? I surrendered to you on that condition. But you let me do this.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Here's 905. This is supposed to be Frederick's room.
And this is where I take a chance on letting you run out on me again, isn't it?
No Faraday, no chandeliers.
And no more than 5 minutes, or I'm coming in there and arresting you for good.
You mean for murder, don't you?
You know what I mean.
I always do.
Very funny.
But do you? Faraday, listen at the door now. I've promise you an earful.
You and your promises.
Get out of sight, Faraday.
I'm out of sight.
Well,
you just be sure to stay in that room.
Yeah, who is it?
it's Tommy with the funny papers.
Just a minute.
Hello, Fredericks. Now, don't close the door. I'm coming in.
Keep you out.
Stop pushing, Fredericks. I'm in.
Yeah. What do you want?
To finish what I started in your office last night. Only this time, no closet gimmicks. This is going to be done my way.
It won't do you any good to kill me, Blackie. I can tell the police you didn't really kill that watchman. I'm the only one that knows that Bill did it. I'm your only alibi. Oh, you got to keep me alive.
Do I? We'll see about that. I see you packing. Going somewhere?
Yeah, you know I got to blow town.
Not taking much with you. This is sort of a small valise.
Well, I like to travel light.
I want to see how light.
Hey, what are you looking for in that suitcase?
Money? The dough you got from the stick-ups. And here it is. Well, I'll take this and you.
Maybe you know a lot, Blackie, but it's not going to do you any good. Outside that window behind you, it's a long way down. And I'm going to see that you find out personally.
Okay, Frederick.
Show you.
I've been waiting for...
I'll give you.
Come in, Faraday.
Okay, I heard everything. So this guy there on the floor is the guy in back of all those robberies, huh?
That's him. Name is Fredericks. That character Tommy I brought down to you works for him.
Yeah?
This guy here is the boss.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who really shot and killed the watchman is a fellow named Bill. With a little coaxing, either Fredericks or Tommy will tell you where he's hiding out.
Good. It's going to be a lot of fun coaxing him, too. You know, Blackie, maybe it takes a little longer when we work alone on a case, but we sure get results.
Want to know a way we can solve cases quicker?
Well, I sure do.
On the next case, when we work alone, I'll work alone.
Boy, when I look at the number of people that are listed on this episode of Boston Blackie, of course, Frank Lovejoy, always all over radio. The wonderful Mason Adams, Leslie Woods, of course, as the young lady, and Maurice Tarplin as the inspector. Going back to June 11th, 1947, 78 years ago, Boston Blackie here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Got a lot of great shows coming up here in the next few days. We'll have a couple of westerns tomorrow in a crime-filled show with Gunsmoke from 1954, Have Gun Will Travel from 1960, Philip Marlowe, starring Van Heflin as Marlowe in the 1947 summer show for the Bob Hope Pepsodent show, and the question is, who shot Marlowe? And The Crime Club from 1947, and Death is a Knockout. That's all coming up tomorrow. On Friday, we'll get back to comedy with the Chase and Sanborn Hour from 1938. Edgar, Charlie, Joan Blondell will be the guest. George and Gracie from 1944 as they're out on the war bond drive. And Great Gildersleeve from 1943 as Gildy is planning a honeymoon. More comedy on Saturday with the Screen Directors Playhouse production of The Ghost Breaker, starring Bob Hope. We've aired that before, and there's some great lines in there, let me tell you. Father Knows Best from 1951, just ahead of Father's Day. Groucho Marx and You Bet Your Life from 1950, and My Friend Irma from 1948. We'll get back to crime on Sunday with Dane Clark in Crime and Peter Chambers, a short-run show that followed Rocky Fortune. When Frank Sinatra won the Academy Award, the show went away. And so Dane Clark just slid right into the spot. Calling All Cars from 1939, The Man with the Injured Knee. Lights Out from 1943, The Prelude to Murder. And the FBI and Peace and War and The Hostage. Monday's show, we'll deal with some more westerns. In fact, a couple of westerns. We'll start off with Death Valley Days from 1939, an episode entitled Shoe Fly. We've only got a couple of I think we've only got 4 episodes of Death Valley Days, which is odd because it ran for so many years. Crime Classics from 1954, The Death of a Baltimore Birdie Friend. The Mutual Show Did Justice Triumph and The Man Who Died Twice from 1947. And a new show to Classic Radio Theater, Bromance, from 1952, the story of Murder Island. Tuesday, well, as I said, we'll get back to Westerns on Tuesday. Gunsmoke and Port Laramie, both episodes from 1956. The Six Shooter, starring Jimmy Stewart, from 1954. And an episode of Death Valley Days from 1939, The Burrow That Had No Name. That's all coming up the few days ahead here on Classic Radio Theater. But up in a moment, we will go back to 1935, 90 years ago, for an episode of Calling All Cars.
Whenever you drive the car, there is always an unseen, unwelcome passenger with you. That passenger is danger. The danger of a traffic accident. Unfortunately, every person seems to have the absurd notion that he bears a charmed life, that no traffic accident can happen to him. But it can, and too often it does. So when you're behind that wheel, don't take chances. Obey all traffic rules. Drive safely for life, your life, and the lives of us.
The other day, Steve asked us about our oldest shows. And, of course, the oldest shows that we do have, after I thought about it, just reading the email cold, is we do have some 1929 episodes of Amos and Andy when it was a quarter-hour show. But apart from that, I think the oldest show that we have in our collection are the Calling All Cars shows, and those are from the West Coast. They were very well preserved, and we have a lot of, I think the oldest we have in that is from 1934. This one's from 1935, 90 years ago today. And it's remarkable that we can, our friends that are so very good at audio processing and make these shows sound like they were recorded today or yesterday. And some of them are great and some of them are not so good, and I understand that. But I just like giving you the best I can find from a preservation standpoint. So we're going to go back 90 years, June 11th, 1935, and this story has to do with Pretty Boy Floyd's gang, a big gangster back in the day, and Liberty bonds had been stolen. That was part of what financed World War I, and they're being sold off by members or by people for the gang. So let's listen to this 90 years ago, June 11th, 1935, Calling All Cars.
Calling All Cars, a copyrighted program created by the Rio Grande Oil Company. Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars to broadcast number 81 regarding the operation of a hot bond mob operating in Los Angeles. This gang is believed to be unloading for Pretty Boy Floyd. Lefty James is handling the investigation. That is all. Bert. It is a holiday for Officers Erickson and Donahue. Out of uniform and in plain clothes, they are headed for the mountains in Donahue's own car.
Better fill up with gasoline now, Don. There's a cut-price station right ahead.
No, not me. I'm going to drive into a Rio Grande station.
Gosh, you're not driving a city police car now. You don't have to use cracked gasoline.
Say, you couldn't hire me to use any other kind, even in this old bus of mine. I've had too many sad experiences with cheap gasoline.
Well, to save 2 cents a gallon, I'd use any gasoline.
Well, that's what I used to think. But when the city switched to Rio Grande cracked for all police cars, well, I could certainly feel the difference in the police car I was driving. Stopped vibrating. It was a real pleasure to step on the throttle and shoot up hills without shifting. It changed all my ideas about gasoline.
Well, you can have the thrills. I'm thinking about the expense.
Well, me too, but I've seen the records down at the city hall. Figures that prove we actually get more mileage with Rio Grande cracked gasoline. And cheaper miles.
What do you mean, cheaper miles?
It's a fact, Eric. Those cheap gasolines leave too much carbon. They don't burn properly. Too much goes to waste. Now, that cracking process of Rio Grande's does something because, well, there's no waste. It all turns into power. And there's no carbon gumming up your engine.
So you figure it's cheaper to use Rio Grande cracked in your own car than to buy a cheaper gasoline, is that it?
Listen, Eric, those chemists at the City Hall are smart babies.
Yeah, I know
They've
that.
tested all the gasolines, and they're buying Rio Grande cracked for all the city cars because they know it's the best buy on the market. And that goes for a lot of other cities, too. Why, do you suppose Oakland and Berkeley, Merced, Fresno, Los Angeles, and many cities and counties in Arizona would specify Rio Grande cracked unless they knew they were getting more for their money?
No, maybe you're right, Don.
Well, there's no maybe about it. I'm banking on the city records. I know Rio Grande cracked is the best and cheapest gasoline I can buy.
Now it is our pleasure to present Captain C.B. Harrell, head of the Speed Squad of the Los Angeles Police Department. Captain Harrell.
Good evening, friends. You have often heard us plead the case of closer cooperation between the various law enforcement agencies. This is no idle preachment. The Los Angeles Police Department practices it. And now, since the federal government has begun its drive on racketeers, kidnappers, and bank robbers, it has become an increasingly pleasant duty to cooperate with G-men in their work of stamping out the gangster. So quiet and unostentatious was the investigation we are about to dramatize for you tonight that few citizens realized at the time that our officers were combating one of the far-flung tentacles of the Pretty Boy Floyd mob. Yet, as you will see, the criminal activities of that late hoodlum and bank robber extended from his midland hunting grounds all the way to the Pacific coast.
We want to see the boss.
Why, he's not in now.
Come on, don't hand us that stuff. He's in all right, and he'll talk to us.
Get out of
the
way,
Mug.
Hi. Hello, boys. I was just thinking of you.
Yeah, I bet.
Won't you sit down?
We're only going to take a minute. And what we can say is we're going to say on our feet.
What's the idea of sending back them 5 extra barrels of beer? Boys, I can't possibly sell more than 10 barrels a day.
From now on, you're taking 15.
Well, I can't do it, boys.
And where's your protection money? You didn't kick in this week.
Well, I don't need to pay for protection. Boys, I get all the protection I need from the police.
Oh, yeah? In that case, you better take 20 barrels a day.
I won't do it, boys. You'll ruin me.
You're taking 20 barrels a day.
I'll get my beer from somebody else first.
Is that final, Blackie?
Yes.
That's all we wanted to know.
Thus the racket, Prohibition's contribution to criminal history. Beginning with the $1 million bootleg business, it spread its tentacles to the trucking industry, the building trades, the cleaners and dyers. It strangled metropolitan America, made a travesty of American law and order, netted billions in illegal profits, created a modern robber baron, the big shot. Equipped with armored limousines, surrounded by vicious guardsmen, the big shots fought each other for supremacy.
Okay, Eddie, slow down. There's Big Tom just coming out of that apartment house. I'm me, all set.
Set.
Let him have it. Okay, Eddie, get going.
Hey, Mike, you bumped off a kid.
Well, what's the difference? I rubbed out Big Tom, didn't I?
Thus did the vengeful bullet of gangland claim innocent victims. Outraged America clamors for action, but the local authorities are powerless. Then the federal government throws its forces into the battle. At the headquarters of the Secret Service in Washington.
You sent for me, Chief?
Yeah, got a job for you.
Yes, sir.
The federal government is going into the wholesale crook catching business. They're going to clean up the racket.
On what charges? There aren't any federal laws we can get them on excepting violation of the 18th Amendment. And the government can't appropriate enough funds to bolster up the local enforcement authority.
Now, wait a minute. That's all going to be changed. The president has promised to ask Congress for more stringent legislation on a number of charges. But there's one charge we can work on right now.
What's that?
Violation of the income tax law. These gangsters are making millions, and not a single one of them is paying income tax. Go out and build up a case against them. And the Attorney General will prosecute it to the limit.
Yes, sir.
Slowly, with painstaking care, the federal investigators build their cases. One after another, the big shots topple, change their notorious names for numbers, file into federal penitentiaries. An awakened citizenry votes prohibition into its legislative grave. Congress makes kidnapping a federal offense. One by one, the more lucrative crimes become difficult, more dangerous to commit. But in the underworld...
Yeah, looks like they'll force us guys to go straight.
Yeah?
Yeah, there ain't no more liquor racket, and don't want to swing for kidnapping, do you?
No, but before I'd go straight, I'd snatch purses.
Yeah, that's about all that's left after second story work.
Well, you're forgetting the place where there's a big payoff.
Yeah, what's that?
The banks. Get the door where it's kept.
Oh, that's running a chance. You might get killed.
What of it? From now on, it's them or us.
So Prohibition indirectly spawned the most daring breed of bank robbers in history. John Dillinger.
Babyface Nelson.
Pretty Boy Floyd. No cracksmen these, no snooping romantic midnight prowlers. Theirs is the direct method. Clay Center, Kansas.
Well, Mr. Potts, I think we'll be able to arrange that mortgage for you.
That's fine. If I can get my hands on that money, I'll be able to put in a new silo.
Take 'em up.
What? Yeah, what merciful
This
heaven.
is ice. Don't make no passes, no burglar alarms, mister. I'll let you have it.
I wasn't.
You better not. I got men with Tommy guns all around the joint. Now shove out all the dough you got in your till there.
But
Come on, let's have it.
All right.
It ain't much, but when we get what's in the safe...
The safe?
Sure, you'll have the back door open. One of my boys going through the safe now.
But all we've got back there is bonds. They belong to our customers.
Now, what do we care? They're worth dough to us.
Well, I got all there was to get, Floyd.
Good. About how much?
About $30,000.
That's fair enough. Now, listen, you two guys. My boys will be outside with their tomcats on the door. It won't be healthy for you to stick your noses out of this joint for 15 minutes.
And a few weeks later, in Sheldon, Missouri.
I'll get this, folks. No cause for alarm. You'll all be quiet. Of course, if anyone gets out of line, I may have to wipe you out.
Hey, Pretty Boy, the safe's locked.
Is it very big?
No, not very big.
Okay, get some of the boys and move it out.
What?
You heard me. We can't open their safe. We'll take it with us.
Thus, the modus operandi of the Pretty Boy Floyd mob, which swept across the Middle West during 1933 and 34. Small-town banks were their prey, and what they failed to realize on ready cash was compensated by the ease and safety of holding up these insufficiently protected institutions, and the large amounts of gilt-edged securities which the safes contained. Securities representing the life savings of the merchants and farmers of these rural communities, left with the bank for safekeeping. But hot bonds are dangerous possessions. And so after a swing through Kansas and Missouri, which had shown vast paper profits, Pretty Boy Floyd packs his portfolio and visits a Mr. E.S. Wagoner in Oklahoma City.
So there you are, Elmer. 250 grand in bonds. Most of it the best paper in the world. It's Liberty bonds. How much will you give me for them?
$250,000. How much of it is in Liberty bonds?
About 230,000.
Well, that's all I'm interested in. I won't monkey with anything else.
Okay. How much will you give me for the Liberty bonds?
10 cents on the dollar.
What?
10 cents on the dollar.
But, Elmer, look here. That stuff's worth more than that. Why, lots of them never had the coupons clipped. Oh, I can't let them go for that.
And that's my price.
Why, that'd mean that I'd only get 23 grand out of them holdups. And I got to cut that stuff 5 ways.
Well, that's your problem, not mine.
Well, make it 25 cents on the dollar, and I'll let you have it.
Not a penny over 10 cents.
But listen,
No use arguing, pretty boy. Those bonds are hot. Why, they're harder to get rid of than marked money. I'd rather float 5 grand of that Lindbergh ransom money than monkey around with stolen Liberty bonds.
Why?
Why? Because those bonds aren't only numbered, but they have the subscriber's signature on them. Why, you have to commit forgery to get rid of them. Another thing, there isn't a town in 1,000 miles of here where I can unload them. Those banks you lifted them from have flooded the country with descriptions and numbers of the bonds.
Yeah, but you ain't going to take no 90% discount when you unload them. You make your profit.
Sure I will.
How much?
That's my business.
Well, I think I ought to get more than 10% for them.
Maybe you think so. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not paying more. Maybe you can do better with the Cohen boys.
They'll only pay 5.
I thought you'd been shopping around. Well, you get a break then. I'll pay 10%, and I'll handle all the stuff you get at that figure.
Well, I suppose it's the best I can do.
Sure it is. And it's your own fault, too. You guys that are so anxious to make a name for yourself. You're dangerous gentlemen to do business with. If you didn't make so much fuss when you knocked over a bank, and if you didn't get your pictures in all the papers, well, I might be able to make you a better price.
I'm going to get smart. I'll pull my next job at night.
Oh, no, you won't. You're more interested in your reputation as a professional bad man than you are in a payoff. You can't have both.
I don't like your lip, Elmer. If you ain't careful, I'll put you on the spot.
And sell out to the Cone boys at 5%? Oh, no. You're not going to touch me, and you know it.
Okay. It's a deal at 10%, but I think it's robbery.
Robbery? You're a fine one to talk about robbery.
Three months pass, and then one August day in 1933, Elmer Wagoner arrived in Los Angeles, registered at a downtown hotel as E.J. Spaulding, meets two friends at a speakeasy on Hill Street.
Now, you gentlemen know this town. You make the contacts. I have the bonds.
How much did you bring with you?
50 grand.
What's our cut?
I'll give each of you 10%.
Not enough. What do you think we are?
Well, boys, I had to pay 25% for them.
You're probably lying. Even if you did, you can afford more than 10%.
Well, I don't really see how I can. I'm running an awful risk.
Yeah, how about us?
We ain't going to run into no federal beef for buttons.
Well, boys, now we don't want to argue about the thing. Maybe we can make a deal. What do you think is fair?
25%.
Split between you?
No, a piece.
Oh, come on, boys. I don't make anything that way.
Not much you don't.
Now, look here. I tell you what I'll do. I'll meet you halfway. Now, you know that your figure is a little too high. And you know that my figure is, well, maybe a trifle low. How about 15% fees?
Well, that's fair enough.
Okay.
It's a deal, then. Now, where do we start?
Well, I know a guy at a jeweler's store.
I got contacts at several banks. Good afternoon, Mr. Hastings.
Why, hello, Mr. Whaler.
How's the banking business these days?
Well, we're managing to stay open.
I'll guess that's something, eh?
It surely is, the way things are.
Mr. Hastings, I want you to meet a good friend of mine, Mr. Frank Gerard.
Well, how do you do, Mr. Gerard?
I'm glad to know you.
Mr. Gerard has some Liberty bonds, and he needs some ready cash for a little business venture. I thought possibly you could make him a short-term loan on his bond.
Oh, I think that could be arranged. How much did you want to borrow, Mr. Gerard?
Well, I'd like to get as near the face value as I can.
And how many bonds have you?
$14,000 worth.
I see. Well, we could lend you $13,000 on that.
And that will be fine.
For how long did you want the loan?
Oh, make it 60 days.
Very well. If you'll just step over this way, we'll make out the necessary payments.
Thus forging the signatures of the owners of the bonds, Wagoner unloads thousands of dollars worth of securities. But he does not reckon on the thoroughness with which Liberty bond transfers are checked. For within a few days, Chief of Police Steckel of the Los Angeles Police Department receives a message which causes him to summon Lieutenant Lefty James, head of the gangster detail, into his office.
Lefty, some of those bonds stolen by Pretty Boy Floyd last spring are turning up here in town.
Yeah?
Yes. Downtown Bank made a loan last week to a man who posed as the owner of $14,000 worth of Liberty bonds. When the bank investigated the bond numbers, they found that the bonds he'd stolen from the Wyndham State Bank in Wyndham, Kansas, and that the rightful owner had never received them back. Now, I want you to go out and get the man that's unloading those bonds.
Yes, sir. Any angles on it?
Yes, the man that introduced to the bank was Mr. E.E. Whaler.
Oh, you mean that criminal lawyer?
That's the man. Now, I suggest that you shadow him until you get a line on his companions.
Yes, sir. I'll get on it right away.
For 2 days, Lefty James shadows Whaler, watches him meet with Cole and Wagoner. Cole he knows is a former member of the Hastings gang in Kansas City, a man who has done time for forgery. With Wagoner he is not acquainted. Focusing his attention on Wagoner, the unknown quantity, He explains his mission to the manager of Wagner's hotel, obtains permission to tap the wires to the fence's room, sits patiently hour after hour with earphones clamped to his head until...
Hello, Lefty.
Oh, hello, Steve.
Chief sent me up to relieve you so you could grab a bite of dinner.
Swell.
Heard anything?
Nothing important in 2 days.
Well, that's the way it goes. You never know.
Quiet. There's a call now.
Hello? Hello, Elmer. This is Elgin Cole.
Yes, Elgin.
I got a lead on a customer for some of those bonds.
Yes? Who?
Fellow owns a jewelry store over on Olive Street. Name's Nussbaum.
Good. How much will he go for?
Oh, $3 or $4 grand.
Fine. I'll meet you down at the place in about 15 minutes.
And bring those bonds with you.
Don't worry. I will.
Well, it sounds like business.
What's that, Lefty?
They're going to try to unload some stuff on old man Nussbaum, the jeweler. Old man Nussbaum's a friend of mine. Hand me that phone, will you?
Here you are.
Hello?
Let me talk to Mr. Nussbaum, please.
Just a moment, please.
What a break this is, Steve.
Hello?
Hello, this is Lefty James, Mr. Nussbaum.
Oh, yeah, Lefty. How are you?
Fine. Hey, Mr. Nussbaum, do you know a fellow by the name of Elgin Cole?
I fixed his watch for him a couple of times.
I see. Well, he's coming in to sell you some bonds in about half an hour.
To sell me some bonds?
Yeah.
But I don't want any bonds.
Maybe not, but you're going to act like you did.
What are you talking about?
Just this. I want you to do me a favor.
Well, I'll be glad to do anything I can, Lefty.
Okay, now when this guy brings these bonds in, stall him along and keep the bonds. Tell him you have to ask your wife about them or something.
Well, what's it all about?
I want to get a look at the bonds, that's all. I'll be right in after he leaves. Don't slip up on this, will you?
Well, I'll do my best, Lefty.
Okay, and thanks. All right, Steve. Hold down the stake here. I got a little checking up to do. Well, Mr. Nussbaum, did you get the bonds?
Did I get the bonds? Yeah, I did. And for the job of that, I had to tell 101 lies.
All right. Where are the bonds?
Right here. But you better not take too much time with him because he said he was coming back in half an hour.
I only need 5 minutes. Let's see. Serial number 618. 609, 10, 611, and 12. Issued to Gus Nixon. That's all I need, Mr. Nussbaum.
Well, tell me, Lefty, what is it all about?
These are stolen bonds. Taken in bank robberies in the Mideast.
Stolen bonds? Well, what'll I do when he comes back? Maybe he'll bump me off.
No, I don't think so. Tell him you decided not to buy them.
But he might decide to take me for a ride.
Just to be sure there's no rough stuff, I'll post one of the boys outside.
Well, I'll feel better that way.
Okay. I'll take care of it. And I want to thank you for your help.
Glad to help you any time, Lefty. Only next time, don't let it be mixed up with gangsters.
Okay, Mr. Nussbaum.
James checks the serial numbers on the bonds with the Treasury Department in Washington. Quickly, he receives a reply.
Well, Chief, I'm on the right track.
Well, how's that?
Washington reports that the serial numbers of those bonds this fellow Spaulding was trying to sell were stolen from the Neosho, Kansas State Bank.
Great work. When are you going to arrest him?
As soon as I find out how much of the stuff he's got with him.
Yeah, that's right. We want to reclaim as much of the property as we can.
Yes, sir. I'm going to stick on that tapped wire, and as soon as I get a chance, I'm going through that bird's room. Gotta work fast, Steve. Tell Husson this guy'll be back.
The desk will tip you off when he's coming up, won't they?
Yeah, but that might be any minute. You go through his suitcase, and I'll go through the drawers in his dresser. Well, there's a nice, shiny automatic. Papers, letters addressed to Elmer S. Wagner in Oklahoma City. Apparently, Spaulding isn't our boyfriend's name. Elmer S. Wagner. Let's make a note of that. Find anything, Steve?
Did I? Look here.
Briefcase, huh?
Lucky it's unlocked, and there are $3,000 bonds in it.
Fine, we got all we need.
When are you going to knock them over?
I'm not. Hey, what are you taking that briefcase for?
Why, we'll need that as evidence.
Oh, no, we won't. Put it back where you found it.
Well, what's the idea, Lefty?
Simple. I'm going to give our Mr. Wagner enough rope.
I don't get you at all, Lefty. Letting that guy go?
I'm not letting him go, Steve. What good is he to us with only $3,000 worth of stolen bonds on him? If we pinch him now, we'd never locate the rest of the stuff.
Oh, I'm beginning to get it.
Wait a minute.
Got the call coming in.
Hello, Wilder. I just called up to say goodbye. When are you leaving? On the 8 o'clock plane tonight. Be back soon? Yes, in about 2 weeks. Bringing some stuff back with you? Sure thing. How much? $200,000. I'll have the customers for you. All right, Whaler. See you later. Go along, Elmer.
Well, Steve, there you are.
What's that?
Mr. Spaulding, alias Wagoner, leaves tonight for Oklahoma City on the 8 o'clock plane. He's back in 2 weeks with $200,000 worth of stolen bonds. Better than arresting him with $3,000 on him, isn't it?
I'll say.
Now, look, Steve. I'm going to stay on this wire till he checks out. There's some things I want you to do.
Yeah, what's that, Lefty?
First, see that the cab that takes Mr. Wagner to the airport is driven by a copper disguised as a cab driver. You tell him not to let Wagner out of sight till he takes off. Then have him report to me at headquarters.
Right.
And wire the Oklahoma City authorities. Tell them to shadow Wagner from the moment he lands and tip us off when he leaves for Los Angeles again. Okay?
Okay.
So quite without knowing it, Elmer Wagoner leaves Los Angeles with a police escort. Every move he makes is reported to Lefty James by the Oklahoma City authorities. Finally, on August 5th, James receives a long-distance call.
Hey, Lefty, Oklahoma City calling you.
Well, hope it's good news. Hello.
Hello, Lieutenant James.
Yeah.
This is Moffett in Oklahoma City.
Oh, yeah, Moffett. What do you got for me?
Your man Wagner just left Oklahoma City by plane for Los Angeles.
Great, great.
He's carrying a black bag with red trim.
Okay. When'd that plane get in here?
Arrives at 4:35, I believe.
Thanks a lot, Moffett. I want to congratulate you boys over there and the way you've helped us.
Not at all. Glad to do it.
Okay, old man. If I can return the favor sometime. Goodbye.
Right.
Come on, Steve. We got a date at the airport. Hey, is that the plane from Oklahoma City coming in?
Yes, it sure is.
Okay, Steve. Keep your eye peeled for a black bag with a red trim.
Right.
The guy that carries it'll be Wagner. You all set?
All set.
Hey, they're rolling the steps up now.
The door's opening.
Now, there he is. First one out. He must be in a hurry. Come on, Steve. Just a minute there, friend.
Well, you speaking to me?
Yeah. I want to have a little talk with you.
Well, I'm in a big hurry.
Not that big a hurry. You're under arrest.
What?
Slap the bracelets on him, Steve.
Say, what is all this about?
Charges of receiving stolen property.
I don't know anything about this.
You come along quietly?
Very well, but I'll clear myself. Why, this is ridiculous. I never heard of such a thing.
All right, all right. Well, Mr. Wagner, now that you've had some time to think it over, what have you to say?
Nothing. I'm innocent, that's all.
About those $91,000 worth of bonds in your suitcase.
Oh, those? Well, I can explain those.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Well, they belong to a friend of mine. He asked me to bring them to Los Angeles for him.
A stolen bond.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. How do you explain that?
Well, as a matter of fact, I knew that they were stolen, but my friend gave them to me.
What was your friend's name?
Well, I just knew him by the name of Babe.
Now, listen, Wagner, stop lying. We know all about you. Been on your trail for weeks. You got both of your accomplices, Elgin Cole and the E. Whaler, in jail right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Dumb me up if you want to. Let me tell you this. You've got a case against you can't beat. They're placing you under a $100,000 bail. They're going to hold you right here till they put you away for good. There you are. Take it or leave it. The case is so good we don't even need a statement from you. You're in a spot. You're going to the pen. No amount of lying can save you.
And Elmer Wagner did go to the penitentiary, along with his pals Elgin Cole and E. Whaler. All three of them are serving terms of from 22 to 32 years in McNeil's Island. Thus did Los Angeles help in the downfall of the Pretty Boy Floyd mob. The final chapter in the activities of this infamous gang of hoodlums was written only a few months ago when Pretty Boy Floyd himself died from a bullet inflicted by a dying officer who had fallen before one of his murderous bullets.
Thank you, Captain Harrell. Ladies and gentlemen, truth is stranger than fiction. Every broadcast of Calling All Cars tells a true experience from the lives of the police who use Rio Grande cracked gasoline in their daily work. And Rio Grande's advertising is true, too, for we can prove any claims made for cracked gasoline. It is absolutely true that only in Rio Grande gasoline can you get all the benefits of the patented Sinclair cracking process, the very last word in petroleum refining. It costs you no more. Try it tomorrow.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. The cancellation of broadcast number 81 regarding a hot bond mob operating in Los Angeles. This gang is now in custody. That is all. Berg.
For a description of next week's broadcast, read the Calling All Cars news. Get your copy free from any Rio Grande service station. This is your narrator, Charles Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Yeah, just like war bonds. Liberty bonds were war bonds sold during World War I to help finance the American war effort, a way for the government to borrow money from citizens who would be repaid with interest over time. They were introduced in 1917 after the U.S. entered World War I, and they were encouraged to buy them as a patriotic duty, as you've heard about World War II. There were 5 Liberty Loan campaigns during World War I, including the 5th one was the Victory Loan, issued after the war ended in 1919. And, of course, we've talked about that. They were low interest rates, although at the time they weren't bad, 3.5% to 4.25%, but the appeal was more emotional and patriotic than financial. And, of course, they did posters and parades and celebrity endorsements and speeches and rallies. And people, even Charlie Chaplin promoted Liberty bonds. And they raised billions for the war and laid the groundwork for future war financing methods like in World War II, which we'll hear one of those war bond rallies coming up here in a few days here. In fact, it'll be in a couple of days here, George and Gracie. That's 2 days away, so you'll get to hear that. And Pretty Boy Floyd didn't exclusively steal Liberty bonds. That was just something that would be there. Whatever he was able to get, he would sell, and that's a lot of what this was dealing with. Mentioning here, Liberty bonds were still circulating in the 30s, often held by private individuals or banks as investments. And so there you go. That's some of the Liberty Bond story there, the stolen, the hot bonds, as they called it. Calling All Cars, 90 years ago, June 11th, 1935, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Dana Andrews up next with an episode of I Was a Communist for the FBI after I remind you come visit us over at classicradio.stream to support the program. Thanks for your support.
This is Debbie Reynolds. If you've been wondering what you can do to fight communism personally from your own home, there is something you can do. Support Radio Free Europe, the station built and financed by the contributions of the American public to the crusade for freedom. Radio Free Europe is one Cold War operation the communists fear and attack constantly. Support Radio Free Europe. Send your truth dollars to Crusade for Freedom, care of your local postmaster.
And we're going to go to not World War II drama, but Cold War drama. Dana Andrews starring in this episode of I Was a Communist for the FBI. 73 years ago, June 11th, 1952, the story of the American Kremlin.
I was a communist for the FBI.
starring Dana Andrews in an exciting tale of danger and espionage. I Was a Communist for the FBI. From the actual records and authentic experiences of Matt Cvetic come many of the incidents in this unusual story. Here is our star, Dana Andrews, as Matt Cvetic, who for 9 fantastic years lived as a communist for the FBI.
In all these fantastic years, fear was my worst enemy. The average man in the normal course of events comes face to face with fear only a few times in his life. But I faced the terror of fear almost constantly for 9 years as a communist for the FBI.
In a moment, listen to Dana Andrews as Matt Cvetic, undercover man. Here is Dana Andrews as Matt Cvetic, undercover man. This story from the confidential file is marked The American Kremlin.
An early spring afternoon in a large Midwestern city. The sun has found its way through the haze that shrouds the downtown business section and is drying the remnants of a morning shower. I decide to walk from my rooming house to the meeting at party headquarters, an unobtrusive address on an undistinguished side street.
Cab, mister?
No thanks, cabbie. I'll walk.
I think you better ride, mister. Pin 4-7.
7 is a lucky number.
You're clear. No one following.
Why the emergency contact?
2 top agents of the MVD have been smuggled into the country. Their job to close any loopholes in party machinery.
Who are they?
We don't know who they are, what they look like. But so far they've been efficient. Too efficient. 2 of our New York contacts disappeared. There's a chance these agents are here right now. You see them, we want them. Now don't waste any time calling your contact. Anything to report?
No. Okay, you can let me out. 2 top agents of the MVD here to check on their own party members. They are never sure of themselves or the people who work for them and with them. For how can you really trust a man who's a traitor to his own country? It's still rather early for my meeting, but there before me is the party headquarters. Outwardly, it resembles some of the other faded and forlorn buildings on the street, but there the resemblance ends. For this building is the nerve center of the entire communist network in this section of the country. This is the American Kremlin. Comrade Barstow? Comrade Barstow! The door to Barstow's office is open. I walk in. Barstow? Not here. Beyond this office, the printing presses. I start to call Barstow's name, but the words choke in my throat. There, above me, dangling like a limp cord of an overhead light, hanging and swaying from a pipe which runs across the ceiling, the body of Comrade Barstow. I look around for the box or platform which he used to raise himself off the ground, but there is none. The floor beneath his swaying feet is clear. This isn't suicide. This is murder.
Hello?
Yes?
Is it done?
Yes.
I stagger wildly out of the building, gasping for air. Sure, I'm scared. I didn't recognize that voice on the other end of the phone. Let's hope I wasn't recognized either. Why did I answer it? Call it an automatic reaction. A phone rings, you answer it. Just like you see a body swinging from a pipe and you know it's murder. Except in this case, there's a frame attached to it, and I could be the picture inside. I can't understand why the building is empty. The presses should be rolling a symphony of inky lies, and some of my beloved comrades should be at the door. Of course. This is Sunday, and even a communist sometimes takes advantage of a decadent bourgeois custom, like not working. I walk around the block, and then I spot Comrade Kovar, the local party leader, entering the building I just left, the American Kremlin. I wait about 2 minutes, and then I walk back in.
Who's there?
Well, it's me, Comrade Cvetic.
Quickly, lock the door and come back here.
I had seen only Comrade Kovar enter the building, yet...
Comrade Cvetic, this is Colonel Polanski, who is here from Moscow.
It is my privilege.
Open the door to the press room, Comrade Kovar, so that Comrade Cvetic may also see.
Barstow? Who did... Either my eyes are playing tricks on me, or else I didn't get a good look the first time. For there, under the swaying feet of Comrade Barstow, is a box.
Yes, Comrade Cvetic. Barstow realized that any weakness in our party structure is dangerous to the entire cause. You may close the door, Comrade Kovar.
Comrade Cvetic, Colonel Polanski has asked me to recommend a man to take Barstow's place. I have recommended you.
I'm here to serve.
When the revolution comes, our strength will lie in the instrument of the workers, the trade unions. Your first assignment, Comrade Cvetic, is the Shipbuilders' Union in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. There's a train which leaves in exactly 40 minutes. You will be on it. Your contact is the waitress in the King Street Diner. Her name, Millicent Johnson. Comrade Kovar here will give you specific instructions. About Barstow. You have seen nothing? You know nothing.
Wait for me, Comrade Cvetic. I will accompany you to the station.
Oh, don't bother, Comrade Kovar.
No bother, Comrade Cvetic. Who knows when I may see you next?
He helps me pack. He helps me find a cab. He's too much of a help. He's right with me as we enter the railroad station. I buy a ticket, look at the clock. There's less than 10 minutes to train time. 10 minutes in which I should get to a phone and tell the FBI that one of the two MVD agents is right here. But how to do it without arousing suspicion on the part of Comrade Kovar, who is being most solicitous and most comradely. Comrade Kovar, will you watch my bag while I wash my hands?
Sure, go ahead.
Hello? 3 and 4 are 7.
Comrade Cvetic, whom are you calling?
Oh, I was just checking the time with Meridian. The last thing I see as the train picks up momentum and speeds out of the station is Comrade Kovar standing on the platform and smiling goodbye. I've been cornered, boxed and shipped. 8 hours before the train arrives in New York. 8 hours before I can get to a phone, contact the FBI, and tell them the MVD agents have arrived. 8 hours in which Colonel Polanski and the hatchet woman on the phone could be in Dallas, Chicago, Los Angeles. You pick the spot. Penn Station, a canyon of noise and activity. I disregard the porter with the outstretched hand waiting to take my bag and head for a telephone booth. I call home to my FBI contact and reverse the charges.
Hello? What are you doing in New York?
I'm on my way to the Brooklyn Navy Yard, replacing a local comrade who was killed.
Details?
August Borstoff, party courier. Murder made to look like suicide. The body was still hanging in the press room when I left 8 hours ago. Be careful how you check it. I don't think anybody knows except myself, Comrade Culver, and one of the 2 MVD agents you're looking for.
Name?
Colonel Polanski. I think his partner is a woman. What's my Brooklyn contact number?
Your Brooklyn contact number is...
What'll it be, mister?
Hello, Millicent.
Hello yourself.
Brooklyn isn't near Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh isn't near Brooklyn. We've been expecting you. The meeting starts in 30 minutes. I finish here in 10. I'll get you a cup of coffee while you're waiting for me.
What about a place to sleep?
We have a room for you.
Hey, Millie, how about some cybers?
Brooklyn headquarters is an innocuous 3-story brownstone a couple of blocks from the waterfront. A converted rooming house which boards all the local agents. I'll be under constant surveillance here. Is this by design or accident?
Ah, Comrade Millicent. Come in. And this is...
Comrade Cvetic from out of town.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Where is Comrade Aachen?
She's due here any minute.
She, Comrade Smith?
Yes, Comrade Hedvig Aachen, one of our most brilliant party members. Direct from the Stalin Institute.
Are you discussing me?
Ah, Comrade Aachen, this is Comrade Cvetic.
Where is Barstow?
I'm taking his place.
Comrade Smith, how did he get here?
Comrade Millicent brought him.
How do we know he's not an FBI spy?
He identified himself correctly.
So, but how do we know?
Oh, this is childish. You can check me whenever you please. I'm here to carry out a mission.
Which is?
The Shipbuilders Union.
I'm satisfied. Comrade Millicent, you have contacted one of the union men?
Yes, Hans Martin. He's been a party member for 2 years, and he's anxious to do what he can.
Comrade Cvetic, this is an important union. They are at work on some vital naval projects. So far, we have only been able to win over Martin. But one man in there is not enough. He will help you join the union.
When do I meet Comrade Martin?
He comes into the diner every day before his shift, around 3:15. You be at the diner tomorrow, and I'll introduce you.
There are other items on the agenda, so I just sit back and listen. I listen and look and catalog their faces. What is the connection between Hedvig Aachen and Comrade Barstow? Was she the voice on the phone?
There being no further business to discuss, the meeting is adjourned.
Comrade Cvetic, may I speak with you alone?
What about?
Alone. Come into the hall.
What's on your mind?
Why did you kill Barstow?
What did you say?
Why did you kill Barstow?
Back to Dana Andrews, starring as Matt Cvetic in I Was a Communist for the FBI, and the second act of our story.
This was it. Fear again. Fear projected by the cold, deadly, accusing voice of Comrade Hedvig Aachen. Why did you kill Barstow? I had to stall for time. The best defense is an aggressive offense. I grabbed her arm and replied, "What did you say?"
Why did you kill Barstow? Let go of my arm. You're hurting me.
Come on.
Let go. Let go.
What is the meaning of this?
Come on, Comrade Aachen. Repeat what you just asked me.
You fool.
I said repeat what you asked me.
I will hear it from you, Comrade Cvetic.
She asked me why I killed Barstow.
Comrade Aachen, You place yourself in a very bad position with such a question. How many times have you seen Comrade Barstow? And under what circumstances? Was there a romantic attachment
Comrade
between you?
Smith, you exceed yourself.
Comrade Smith, perhaps Comrade Ocken's suspicions might be alleviated by a long-distance phone call. And you might ask Comrade Cover why Colonel Polanski recommended me.
Colonel Polanski? Comrade Smith, I wish to withdraw my charge against Comrade Cvetic. Good night.
The next morning, I use an empty cigarette pack as an excuse to get out of the house and call my Brooklyn contact.
Hello?
3 and 4 are 7.
7 is a lucky number. Have you made contact?
I'm living at local headquarters. Nothing to report as yet. Did you hear from out west?
Party headquarters had a visit from the local building inspector, but everything was in order.
Did they find Barstow's body?
No.
Was Barstow an FBI contact?
No.
Okay, if he were, you wouldn't tell me. Any other contact besides you?
The shoeshine man outside the King Street subway station. Tell him you prefer a red polish. A deep red polish.
Three o'clock, and I'm sitting at a table in the corner of the diner. And over in the opposite corner, a fat, paunchy individual blows the steam off a spoonful of soup. It's during my second cup of coffee that Hans Martin comes over to the table. Sit down.
You're Millie's friend?
And your friend, Hans Martin.
First, we gotta get you into the union. There's a meeting of our shift tonight at 11:30. The business agent for the union will be there. You meet me at 11:30, and I'll introduce you as my cousin.
Where is the meeting?
In the warehouse off Pier 9. Don't worry, nobody will stop you. Just walk past Pier 10 and across the cutover, which you can't miss. Meet me at the entrance to the warehouse.
I walk out of the diner with Hans Martin. Walk him partway back to the pier. As we pass the King Street subway station, I say goodbye to him.
Shine, mister?
I start to say yes, but as I look up, I see Colonel Polanski coming out of the subway. He looks straight at me, through me, and around me, and walks on.
Shine, mister?
Well, yeah, I prefer a red polish, a deep red polish. Oh, well, my cab driver from home, how come?
I had a feeling out there that you might be heading into something.
I can't get over the feeling of being watched. I sit back in the shine chair and let my eyes wander. Sure enough, across the street is the fat man who had been blowing steam from his soup spoon in the diner.
Anything to report?
Colonel Polanski.
What about him?
Can't talk. Being watched.
Well, there you are, sir. The other shoe, please.
As I walk away from the shoeshine stand, I notice that the fat man has disappeared from the doorway. Rather than walk the 4 blocks back to the party headquarters, I take the trolley. Was the fat man really watching me? Did I do anything to give myself away? Oh, nuts. I'm falling for the old commie trick that the guilty man will always worry. The innocent man will only be confused. As I start up the stairs to the 3-story brownstone, I turn around and freeze. There, across the street, is the fat man. I shut the door behind me and run up the stairs into the meeting room.
Ah, Comrade Cvetic.
Colonel Polanski.
What is it, Comrade Cvetic? You look perturbed.
I think I've been followed. He's right across the street.
Who?
The man who's been following me. Look. Polanski and Smith cautiously move across the room and through a parting, and the drapes get a good look at the fat man standing on the other side of the street.
Comrade Smith, will you leave us alone?
Yes, Colonel.
Well, this is no laughing matter.
Easy, Comrade Cvetic, easy.
I watch as Colonel Polanski lowers and raises the window shade twice, and then see the fat man across the street come up the steps and into the brownstone house. A minute later, the door to the room opens again, and he waddles into the room and smiles at me with the lower part of his face. His eyes can never smile.
Kommissar Turen, this is Comrade Cvetic.
Commissar, I'm honored.
So, it is you who have taken Comrade Bastov's place.
This is the other member of the two-man team from the MVD. This is the voice on the telephone.
I watched you handle your contact in the diner, and I'm very pleased to know that we have such workers in the party.
Good. Comrade Cvetic, what have you arranged?
I'm to meet Hans Martin on the pier tonight at 11:30. He's introducing me as his cousin to the business agent of the union. I should have no trouble.
My dear comrade, but the test of a good agent is to always be prepared for trouble. Colonel Polanski will accompany you. In the meantime, I suggest you get some sleep. You look tired.
At exactly 11, Colonel Polanski knocks on the door of my room and takes me down to the car he has rented especially for the occasion. He opens the back door for me, and there is Commissar Turin.
Oh, come in quickly, Comrade Cvetic. The night air is a bit cold. Comrade Cvetic, you wonder why a commissar and a colonel should accompany you on such a routine matter.
My duty is not to wonder, just to obey.
Very convincing, Comrade Cvetic. You should not have run out of the building where you found Bastov's body after you spoke to me on the phone. Oh, yes, do not look startled. It was you. And you should not have entered the building a second time and acted as if it were the first time you had seen the body of Comrade Bastov. And finally, you should not have called the FBI.
This is some sort of joke. I don't get it.
Oh, come now, Comrade Cvetic, spy, traitor, fascist tool of the FBI. Let us put an end to pretenses.
If as you say, I am an agent for the FBI, why do you accompany me to my meeting with Hans Martin? Why don't you just kill me now?
You have an appointment with him. If you do not appear, he will ask questions.
Commissar, we are approaching Pier 10.
Turn your lights off.
Why was Comrade Barstov killed?
Let us say he served the cause.
Served the cause?
Yes. To trap any traitors in our ranks. And we did trap you, didn't we? I shall put it all in my report tomorrow. Moscow will be pleased. Bear in mind that Colonel Polanski and I are both armed. Now we shall get out and keep our date with Hans Martin.
The shrill whistle of the tugs, the basso boom of the larger vessels are playing a funeral dirge across the night winds of the Brooklyn waterfront, carrying the coffin to its final resting place. You think you get accustomed to staring death in the face only.
Where's that light coming from?
Drop your guns! An FBI trap.
This is my cue. I make a dive for shelter behind some piling. I miss my target. Find myself choking. The water drags me down, choking, gasping, fighting my way up. I break for air. I hear the barking of guns punctuating the stillness of the night. There's an eerie quiet, and then...
Cvetic, are you all right?
Just a little wet, that's all.
Here, grab this rope and I'll pull you out.
Thanks. Where are Turin and Polanski?
We've got them.
Are they dead?
I don't know. The boys will find out.
How did you manage to get here?
We've had a stakeout on local headquarters ever since you arrived. The shoeshine man reported your contact, and when you got in the car tonight, we just followed. Did anybody else know of their suspicion?
I don't think so. But I'm supposed to meet a party member on Pier 9 at 11:30. What time is it?
Well, that's the 11:30 break now.
What do I do?
Tell him you slipped and fell overboard to explain your wetsuit. We'll take care of Polanski and Turin. Well, what are you waiting for?
As I make my way to Pier 9, the calm of the waterfront is as before, as if those gunshots had never been, as if Polanski and Turin had never been. But there will always be more Polanskis and more Turins. For this fight I'm in is a lonely fight. An undercover man who must forsake his friends and family for the false friendship of the comrades in the party. I must continue this fight alone. As I walk alone.
Dana Andrews will return in just a moment.
This is Dana Andrews with a word about the story you've just heard. In this episode, as in all others, names, dates, and places are fictitious to protect innocent people. However, party headquarters, described as the American Kremlin, did exist, and similar places will continue to operate in this country until we won the fight against communism. Next week, another exciting adventure based on Matt Cvetic's experience as an undercover man, a communist for the FBI. So join us, won't you?
Matt Cvetic was not as lily-white and innocent as he is portrayed by Dana Andrews. He had his issues, lots of issues, just as Joseph R. McCarthy had his issues, lots of issues. He did good things, he did bad things. One thing we know is that it is wonderful entertainment to hear about I was a communist for the FBI, Dana Andrews. And whether the stories are absolutely true or not, or fictional, or we do know that they make for good entertainment. Up next, we will head to Pine Ridge, Arkansas, as Lum's going to go apply for a new license. What kind? You won't believe it.
Alert Americans will heed history's lessons. Throughout history, surprise has had a leading role in military disasters. Today, an enemy capable of surprise air attack could leave chaos in his wake. That's why you should be in the Civilian Ground Observer Corps, volunteering a few hours a week to guard our skies. Be a ground observer. Contact your local civilian defense office.
All right, we wrap up this edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on this Wednesday with an episode of Lum and Abner going back 83 years, June 11th, 1942.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. Say, folks, how's that victory garden of yours coming along these days? Does it really keep you humping to stay more than one jump ahead of the weeds and the garden pests you have to fight? Well, on those days or nights after you've worked hard all day and you come in from the garden with your muscles feeling achy and sore, be wise and freshen up with Alka-Seltzer. You know, it's really surprising how much better a glass of sparkling, zestful Alka-Seltzer can help you feel. Say, just to taste its refreshing goodness is really something. And when you've experienced the comforting relief it offers, the way it eases aching arm and leg and back muscles, you'll wonder how you ever got along without it before. Try Alka-Seltzer. whether your muscular discomfort is caused by hard work in the garden, the yard, on the golf course, or on the job. Get a package of friendly, dependable Alka-Seltzer tablets from your druggist tonight or tomorrow, sure. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum's Publishing Company hasn't done any greeting card business yet, but it has consummated a big trade deal, out of which Mousy Gray got a half interest in the company, and its president, L. Edwards, got a purple beret. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library talking to Port Edwards, who is busy composing more greeting cards. Listen.
Say, Lum, are you going to keep on having Mousy help you write them verses for the greeting cards?
Why, sure, of course I am. Don't forget, he's part of the publishing company now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to swap a half interest in the business for this bure of his'n.
Well, I don't think you made a very good deal there, Lum. All you're getting is some greeting card verses that ain't no good and a purple monkey cap out of it.
Abner, this ain't no monkey cap I'm
What
wearing.
it looks like.
It's a bure. All poetics wear 'em. Or poets, Mousy says that is.
'Tis, huh?
Yeah. In the second place, there ain't nothing wrong with Mousy's verses, neither.
Well, they don't sound nothing like the greeting cards I saw in other stores.
Well, of course not. I don't want 'em to. We want to have cards that you can't get no other place. Cards that fit extra special occasions. Like, for instance, we studied up a card to send to somebody that's give you a present, but you don't know what it is.
No, you mean like old Buford Adams?
Buford Adams.
Yeah, you've heard about him, ain't you?
I reckon not.
Why, 22 years ago, Buford's old maid sister-in-law up in Indiana sent him something for his birthday.
And he never knowed what it was.
No, never had the slightest idea what it was. And his woman told him to write Melissa, that was his sister-in-law's name, told him to write Melissa and thank her, but Buford said that he didn't know what he's thanking her for.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
But his woman insisted that he write her, so Buford wrote her a card and said the present was the one thing he'd always wanted, even though he never knowed what it was.
Oh, folks are always saying that.
So Melissa figured that if he liked him that much, why, she better send him another one for Christmas.
Oh, my goodness.
And for 22 years now, every Christmas and every birthday, here comes another one of them things for Buford. He's got 44 of them stored in his bedroom.
44?
Yeah, that's why him and his woman has to sleep in the parlor.
Well, that just goes to show you what the wrong kind of a card can lead to.
Yeah, well, that ain't the worst part of it, though. Buford says that his curiosity over what them things is has made him so worried and nervous that he ain't hardly been able to work for the last 20 years.
Well, natural.
He claims that's the reason he has to let his woman support him.
Well, I don't believe that. He's more likely using that for an excuse.
He said it.
But if he'd had one of our cards, he never would have got himself in all this trouble.
Well, now, how would the card that you and Mousy studied up help him any on that?
Well, it'd have helped him find out what the present was without insulting the sister-in-law or hurting her feelings.
It would, huh?
Yeah, listen to this now.
Yeah.
Kind of subtle.
Well?
Your gift was nice, but it never arose. Must have got lost or throwed in a stove. But tell me what it was you give me. I'll buy me another in a jivney.
In a jivney?
Yeah, that means jiffy, but Mousy said it was all right to change it a little that way in poetries.
Well?
He said that was poet's license.
Poet's license? Doggies, do poets have to have a license now before they can write poems?
I reckon so. I never thought much about it when Mousy brung it up the other day, but it sounds like it, don't it?
Well, have you got a license, Lon?
No, I ain't got one.
Well, Doggie, you better not let nobody know you're writing them poems in.
Granny, that's right, ain't it?
Why, sure it is.
Or maybe I better try to get a license.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be the legal thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to go running no unlawful business here, I can tell you that.
Why, of course not. They'll put you in the penitentiary for such as that. Whereabouts do you get that kind of a license?
At the courthouse, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm on one.
Maybe I ought to call them on a long-distance phone right away and get this thing straightened out before I get myself in a lot of trouble.
I believe you ought to, Lum. That's a thing to do. You don't want to get no trouble over there.
I hope Mamie don't feel talkative today. You take up so much time asking how you are that you never get no calls done.
No.
Hello, Mamie. This is Lum Edwards, and I'd like you to connect me with the courthouse at the county seat, please, Ma. Yes, Ma. Oh, I'm fine, Mamie. Yeah, Abner's fine, too. Listen, Mamie, Elizabeth and little Pearl and Cedric and everybody's just fine, so hurry up with the call now. Just a minute. Abner, how's your dog, Old Blue?
Oh, he's fine.
He's fine, too, Mamie.
Yeah.
Have you got the call through yet? Well, hurry up, please, Mom. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that, Mamie.
Glad to hear what, Lum?
She says her mama and papa are both just fine.
Well,
Mom?
good for them.
Oh, you got 'em. Good. Hello? Is this the courthouse? Well, this is Lum Edwards in Pine Ridge. I'm running a greeting card business here, writing verses and all, and I want to find out about a license. A license? Yeah, that's right. Oh, all right, I'll wait.
Are they getting you one, Lum?
No, this feller's transferring me to some other department.
Oh.
He didn't seem to know much about it.
Yeah, more than likely getting a poet's department for you is what he's doing. Yeah.
Hello? See, this is Lum Edwards in Pine Ridge. I'd like to see about getting a license. Yes, sir.
What do you say, Lum?
Hush up there. What was that? Name of what girl? Oh, no, I ain't aiming on getting married. Of course
Getting
not.
married? Why, Lum Edwards.
But I don't want to get married. Well, just a minute. Granny, this is a curious thing.
What is?
He said he wouldn't give me no license unless I'd get married. Seems like they're only giving them to married men.
Well.
More likely they figure an unmarried feller will get drafted and then he won't have no use for a poet's license.
Just about.
Here, you take the phone, Abner.
Me? What for?
Well, you're married. You can get a license.
Well, you said I weren't no good at writing them verses, old.
Well, I'll actually do the writing, but I'll use your license. Go ahead.
Is that legal?
Oh, yeah. He won't care about that. Hurry up, Nancy.
Yeah, all right. Hello? This is Abner Peabody in Pine Ridge, and I'm a married feller, and I'd like to get me a license. Yes, sir. To Elizabeth. Why, no, we ain't figuring on getting no divorce.
Granny's a hope not.
I can't, huh?
Couldn't get a license at all, then.
I can get what? Oh, my goodness, just a minute.
What's the trouble?
He says I can get arrested for this, Lum.
Arrested?
Why, sure, they must have heard you say that you was going to do the writing instead of me.
Oh, no, they couldn't have heard
They
it.
must have.
What was that you was telling them about a divorce?
Well, he asked me if I was aiming on getting one.
Well, Granny, this is getting awful mixed up, Abner. Give me that phone.
What?
I'll
Yeah,
find
take
out
it.
what
I
this
don't
is all
want to get
about.
no arrested here for such as this.
Hello?
Don't let him arrest
Now,
me,
listen
Lum.
here. You can't arrest my partner. He ain't did nothing wrong.
That's that time.
Well, yeah, of course he's married, but he...
I'm an innocent man.
Huh? Oh, well, no wonder.
No wonder what, Lum.
We've been talking to the marriage bureau.
Huh?
They thought we wanted to get a marriage license.
Oh.
Hello? We got the wrong department, I reckon. It ain't a marriage license we want. You see, we're selling greeting cards and... Oh, all right, I'll hold the phone.
Are they still going to arrest me, Lum?
No, of course not. It's just a mistake.
Well, I hope they don't, dog it. I don't want to get arrested and lose my woman, too.
Wait a minute. He's getting the right department for me.
Yes, huh?
Hello? This is Lum Edwards in Pine Ridge. I want to get me a license. Huh? Push card? Do I have to have a push card to get one? Oh, well, wait. I must have the wrong department again. I don't want no peddler's license. Well, yeah, we're selling greeting cards, but we ain't taking them from door to door to sell them. No, sir, I want a poet's license. Poet? I want to write poetry, greeting cards, and wedding announcements, and all such... Huh? Oh, yeah, I'll hold the phone. Granny's, they got a bunch of stupid fellers working at the courthouse.
Are they transferring you again?
Yeah. Hello? Say, this is Lum Edwards in Pine Ridge. Huh? Oh, I thought your voice sounded familiar.
Who is it, Lum?
We're back in the marriage bureau again.
Oh, my
Well, listen, mister, I want... Oh, all right, I'll hold the phone.
Transferring again?
Yeah. I hope they get the right department this time before I get word up. Hello? Is this a Poetics License Department? Who? County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, I know they's gonna arrest me.
Well, now, wait, Sheriff. We ain't trying to be a nuisance.
Art never started it.
Who's been complaining? Well, they've got a nerve. All we're trying to do is get a poet's license. No, we ain't trying to josh nobody. All we want to do is be lawful and get a license to write stuff like, where is that poet?
Oh, right there.
Your gift was nice, but it never arose. Must have got lost or thrown in a stove.
Better hang up long before both of us gets arrested.
Huh? Oh, well, that's more like it, Sheriff. Right away? Well, that's awful thoughty of you, Sheriff. Yeah, well, much obliged. Oh, yeah, we'll wait. All right, Sheriff. Goodbye. Yeah, finally going to get fixed up.
You mean you're actually going to get the right kind of a license?
I reckon so. He said he's going to send a couple of fellers down here to take care of everything.
Well, good for him.
So keep an eye open for him, Abner.
Yeah. What they look like?
I don't know, but you won't have no trouble recognizing them.
I won't, huh?
No, the sheriff said they'd be wearing white coats and a cap with guard wrote on.
Well, our Pine Ridge friends had a few unpleasant moments there, didn't they? But say, here's how you can save yourself many an unpleasant moment when it's your misfortune to be troubled when a touch of acid indigestion happens along, or a sour, upset stomach, or occasional distress after meals bothers you. Give Alka-Seltzer a try, folks, for you can feel better fast when you take Alka-Seltzer for these minor stomach upsets. You see, Alka-Seltzer does more than reduce excess gastric acidity. It also helps relieve that full, stuffy feeling that's so often a part of your discomfort. Are you acquainted with the comfort Alka-Seltzer can bring? Well, you should be, for as I said, it can save you many an unpleasant moment. Now, the place to get acquainted with Alka-Seltzer is at any drugstore, for all druggists have it by the package and also serve it by the glass at their soda fountains. And the time? Any time you want soothing relief for some minor stomach upset. So try it, won't you? And see for yourself why millions of folks keep Alka-Seltzer handy all the time.
And they might bring a couple of those jackets with long arms that tie in the back. Lum and Abner from 83 years ago, June 11th, 1942, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage at classicradio.stream. See you tomorrow for Crime here on Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.